and I was not good.
I'm trying to get home to her, and he goes, "Say my wife's not good looking? Oh, she's fine."
And then what was the third one that I just couldn't stomach? I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, it was the Alexander Graham Bell.
Oh, inventing the telephone. So it's just not funny, huh?
I know when Lance gets back, Larry David holds a special place.
I didn't think Lance would like this, though, honestly.
So far, it did not seem good at all.
Yeah.
The first, I would imagine you got to have some good stuff, throw it out in the first episode.
Yeah, I mean, your first episode needs to be strong.
And that very first bit about the Declaration of Independence, I thought was wrong.
All right. I'll stay away from that one then.
Yes.
Tomorrow, the Backrooms is releasing its director's cut with an extra 15 minutes of exclusive footage. This movie has absolutely been crushing it at the box office. Kane Parsons becoming the youngest director to hit #1 at the box office.
Wow.
Guy's only 20 years old.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Yep. And he's just been working in his bedroom using animation software like Blender to make his YouTube channel. And now he's doing, real movies.
Yeah. By the way, Blender would have been a better name than Tinder for a dating app.
That's true.
That would have been a good name.
You're absolutely right about that. Yeah.
And then Sunday, we've got a special re-release. I might not be attending it just because it's going to be slammed with great World Cup action all day Sunday. But if you are interested, it's the 85th anniversary of Citizen Kane, starring and directed by Orson Welles. It's you got to want to get through it.
Yeah, I've never seen Citizen Kane. I don't even really know what it's about. If I could guess at the plot.
All right, take a stab at it.
Take a stab.
Have you seen Citizen Kane?
Yeah, a couple times.
I'm going to say Citizen Kane is a man falsely accused of a crime, and he's trying to get a fair trial in the United States.
No.
Okay.
Citizen Kane is almost this look at William Randolph Hearst.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main
The newspaper owner?
Yes. And it's
sounds boring so far.
The entire movie is basically a parallel to him and criticism of how he ran his business.
Yep, and treated people. And then on his deathbed,
Rosebud,
he remembered some joyful times from his childhood.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Rosebud was the sled.
And the person he should have been.
Okay. That was not a good sales job on me.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm going to like Citizen Kane.
I think if you were to watch a movie from like that era of filmmaking, I think you would really enjoy Casablanca.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've not seen that either. That's a love story.
Yeah.
Yes, love story set during World War II in German-occupied France.
Yeah, no, that's right up my alley.
Yeah.
World War II. Yeah.
Do you know, though, I got this from film class, that Rosebud, the big reveal at the end, that Rosebud is the sled, that the Crying Game also used that genre for this big reveal at the end as well. a different type of Rosebud.
That's not a sled.
Yeah.
And then finally on viewing menu, on Peacock, Stars, and also available for rental on Prime. It's one I watch every 4th of July, and that's Jaws.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
a fun
Jaws.
movie.
Yep.
One of the
You
greatest.
Lance love Jaws.
Yeah, bring that back on Monday. You and Lance will.
Yeah, it's his favorite movie.
Shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats all in one place, nextround.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know, you might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all of your favorite Next Round gear by visiting nextround.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at nextround.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from nextround.store.
When you trust a doctor with your life, they owe you proper care. If medical negligence left you or a loved one injured, you deserve answers and compensation. Alexander Sennard trial attorneys have recovered over $2 billion for their clients harmed by medical errors, misdiagnoses, and surgical mistakes. They fight hospitals and insurance companies so you can focus on healing. Don't wait. Medical malpractice cases have strict deadlines in Alabama. Call Alexander Sennard trial attorneys now for a free consultation. 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. You pay nothing unless they win. Physical office location, Birmingham.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, live show now on a Monday. We're going to get to all the soccer stuff early. In fact, probably the first thing here since the Americans play tonight. But we start our 40 and 40 today. Brooks did a wonderful job of counting your votes. Thank 45 of you for voting this year. We narrowed that list down to 45, so we appreciate you guys getting your votes in. We'll get to the people that didn't make it into our top 40. A couple surprises for me that are not even in the top 40 in this opening segment, and we'll get to college football and a ton of NFL. Brown is on vacation this week. Look at this guy back with a golden tan from the equator, right? Look at LT back here.
I mean, I was somewhat close to the equator, a little bit, obviously north of it, but they got so brutal the last couple of days of sun. I was like, we've got those good rash guards. We've got, I think, the lime green, the light blue. We've got those in our shop. I was sporting those pretty much around the clock.
Nextround.store if you want the rash guard that cooked LT to this perfect Thanksgiving brown like a turkey out of the oven. How was the trip?
It was fantastic.
Young Jack loved it?
Yeah, young Jack loved it because we were at a place called St. Martin, and it's, half the territory is Netherlands. The other half is, we stayed on the French side. We went back and forth, but just a beautiful place, a wild place.
Oh, is it wild?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's
like not with undergrowth under trees and stuff?
No,
just
especially
chaos.
the Dutch side. And these people were all in on the World Cup. And, I've got the little Calcutta going on. And so there's a lot of these matches, almost all that I want to watch. And so the place we were staying at a villa, and it had just smart TVs in it. So they didn't have any of the cable. You had to have local cable to be able to do Fox. You couldn't use Fox app on the island.
Wow.
So we had to go. Now, we were able to get it to our phone somehow, but if we wanted to watch it, we had to go to different bars and restaurants, and they were all in. I mean, they had, almost every bar and restaurant had every flag. For every goal scored, everybody was doing a shot. They would just walk around with free shots. I mean, they were
you got
all
drunk last night
on the World Cup, all in. And especially you could imagine on the French side.
Oh, I cannot imagine. See, I was wondering what that would be like abroad because it was crazy. We had a blast watching, I think it was England and Ivory Coast when we did our Folds of Honor thing at Walk-Ons with the folks from Adams and Anheuser-Busch, Budweiser, Bud Light. We were just having a blast out there watching England battle back and forth, and it was probably half full at that point in the afternoon. I can't imagine what it would be like watching at a packed place. We'll get the chance to do that tonight with the Americans. By the way, with our friends at Walk-Ons, don't forget our Folds of Honor goes on all the month of July, so every day you can go out there at every table. They've got that QR code where you can donate to Folds of Honor Alabama. All month long until July 31st. We got a big end event coming up at the end, but you get $2 Budweisers and Bud Light bottles, $3 16-ounce drafts of the Bud Light, helping out Folds of Honor Alabama every day, all the way through the month of July. And we're just going with this. That's helping out Folds of Honor Alabama, and every penny stays here in the state of Alabama. Thank you to Budweiser, Bud Light, Adams Beverage, Anheuser-Busch, Walk-Ons, and the great folks at Folds of Honor, and, of course, you for donating. It's a good time out there. So here we go tonight. The Americans play, and we'll get to what happened last night. But the controversy, not for us, but for those around the world, is that Flo Balogun, his red card has been now turned into no suspension, just a 1-year probation, and the folks from Belgium, who the U.S. play tonight, they have filed an appeal, and they're waiting to hear back, trying to get him back off the roster tonight by the 7 o'clock kick. So FIFA is going to rule on that at some point today, but they're not expected to overturn this. The president, President Trump, the White House, the lawyers, they got involved. I'll ask you your initial thought on the overturn here, and then I got a theory on what happened.
Okay, so first off, watching live, there was no way that was a red card. By the way, there are a lot of things that need to be changed in soccer. I am far from a soccer guy, all in on the World Cup, and we can get into that whatever time. I just think when you watch on replay, you should be able to tell like how egregious or how malicious something is. It wasn't. Shouldn't have been a red card. Once it was.
You say that because that guy, their guy, ran through our guy.
Yeah.
Balogun was the guy that got it run into.
That's the thing. You gotta see how malicious these things are in order to give the red card. Like the penalty on Harry Kane last night. I know it's a rule, like he kicked him in the boot or whatever.
Yeah.
But he's actually going for the ball. The only way his foot is going to hit the ball is if it goes at that angle. So, like on review, how are you getting a PK out of that? That made no sense to me.
Yeah.
But back to
the shot in a goal critical situation.
Yeah, but it's obvious there was no.
Is that a foul outside of the box or only if that's in the box?
It's a foul outside of the box as well.
So
it's just made more serious that it's
But
critical.
it's a stupid rule because he's trying to kick the ball. Like, if he's trying to kick his foot, you can tell in the replay. Anyway, back to that red card. It wasn't a red card, or it shouldn't have been a red card. But I didn't think red cards could get rescinded. Now, they told us a million times if you were watching, Brazil, Norway, and then last night Mexico, England, on situations, maybe not at this level, at the World Cup level, where they have been rescinded. If you can use your political power to do it,
yeah.
I mean, I'm all in on it because we're pulling for the Americans. I do think the optics are probably bad.
Well, it is. More on that in a second. But this is the 5th red card that has been rescinded or put into a probationary period this World Cup. Nobody's talking about it, but that includes, Ronaldo, who had a 2-game suspension going into the World Cup, and they were like, hey, don't worry about those suspensions. We want Ronaldo to play.
Yeah.
So he was supposed to miss the first 2 games of this World Cup. And
I think this gets magnified because
Yeah.
of the stage that it was on. We're one of the hosts. I think people are scared to death, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, that, damn, are the Americans getting good at soccer?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
and that, because that's the one thing we suck at typically. Like, we're good at everything in this world except soccer. And if we get good in soccer, what does everybody have to be superior over us in?
Yeah, and here's what I think happened. And there you see all the red cards. Just in this World Cup, a guy from Argentina, Ecuador, Qatar, they got matches where they were just waved off. You didn't miss the matches. And so Balogun, now it's high profile, and it's in the knockout stage, and Belgium was preparing for U.S. without him. But here's what I think happened. FIFA's reputation worldwide when they're bidding this out is what?
Oh, it's corrupt.
Corrupt?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty bad, right?
I mean, and look, I know we'll get to the game in a little bit. I didn't think there was any way England was going to survive that. I thought FIFA, the Mexican fans, everybody, they were going to make sure England went home.
Yeah. So FIFA worldwide, the countries that get these bids, there's these under-the-table dealings, people that work for FIFA.
I mean, it's legitimate. We saw it when they were in Qatar the last time. I mean, look, there were payoffs. Guy got fired. There were deaths. I mean, there was a lot of things going on. When you think of FIFA, I think even over the IOC when you talk about the Olympic Committee.
Yeah. So I just my theory, and I it sounds like you guys are going to agree with me here. I felt like, President Trump and the White House and those folks. President Trump isn't one to he will say the private stuff out loud sometimes. I get the feeling he got on the phone call with the head of FIFA guy, and he's like, if you want us to just expose how you guys do business, we'll do this. We'll be glad to do that for you. But my legal team here says, by your own rules, you can take a look at this and let's get this red card, turned out. Do it differently, because if our government knows how we got the bid, or actually this replaced the one that they couldn't get the stadiums done, right? That's how we ended up with this version of the World Cup. But they know how the business is done. I feel like President Trump called the FIFA guys like, look, we've got this, and this on you. We'll expose all of it.
Would not surprise me at all. The interesting thing is now the optics of this. I mean, when the Astros won the 2017 World Series in 7 games, everybody was like asterisk next to it. They were stealing signs.
Bang that garbage can.
The New England Patriots, when they won Tom Brady's first Super Bowl, Spygate, the Deflategate. I mean, all of these, it gives you a reason to have an asterisk. As an American, I don't really care.
Right.
I mean, look, we normally don't get this far. I think what is going to be really crazy is how they will officiate this game tonight. Do they press back on the Americans because, we got this gift of getting this recension? I mean, I don't know how you guys feel, but at the same time, if we're kind of threatening, strong-arming FIFA, do they go the other way with this? I don't know.
The criticism towards this never bothers to mention that VAR, you cannot use still images and slow-mo replay to give out cards.
Dude, I was watching last night. They did it again on the Harry Kane kick.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see the screen, and they're looking at the same replay they were showing on, and it was slow-mo on that one, too.
So,
and I know they're not supposed to. But
they're not supposed to, but they have to. It would be
time.
natural, but why don't they? Like, if you've got the technology.
Because it makes it look so much worse than it is and makes fouls look horribly egregious when they're really not.
Well, I think that's what happened on the first red card last night, or the red card for England last night. Yeah. Like, just because the spikes hit his calf, that wasn't malicious. He wasn't going to spike the guy. He got to the ball first. Like, that's one of those that.
Yeah, when his leg hit the top of the ball and
in real time, it didn't look bad at all. And then when you looked in slow mo, was when it looked like maybe he did cleat the calf.
It reminds me of when people tweet the screenshots of holding calls in football.
Yeah,
like it looks way worse when you slow it down and take a screenshot or pause the camera in real time. People hold on every play if you want to pause it and screenshot it, but in real time, it's not a hold. It's the same concept.
Yeah.
Now, and that's also the center ref that awarded Balogun the red card was previously investigated for fixing matches.
That's right. How is he even at this level?
Yeah. That's strange that he's even at this level. And FIFA's rules allow you to rescind red card suspensions. So I don't understand what everybody's upset about.
It's because it's us.
Well, you know what's crazy is
I
have
mean
seen
the US.
over the last couple of days on Twitter, like a lot of Americans saying that they're not going to pull for this Team USA anymore because
I'm not seeing that. That's when you get the.
I've seen.
That's when you get that small thread out there that people.
And my theory on that is it's the people that hate Trump. Like, you can hate Trump, but you still pull for your team, right? Like,
I think it's probably 4 people on Reddit who are real mad about it.
Yeah, that's that small, because they will get likes and tweets and retweets and stuff at small little. There's no real American fan that doesn't cheer
it would
for the
be
American
hard
soccer team.
to think that we have a citizen that would sit back on their couch and pull for Belgium tonight.
That's when I think we do a horrible job in the media of giving voice to, 0.00001% of the population.
Yeah.
And how many
that bothers me when we give those people the voices.
How many articles and news pieces do you see that are just based around a tweet some guy that no one's ever heard of put out there?
That's right.
Like, who cares?
That's right. Like, if let's say just pick any guy that missed a kick in a college football game, he got death threats. Well, was it one guy on Twitter that said it, or was it a legitimate death threat?
Yeah, did somebody
did a frat boy who was drunk on Bud Light in his frat house sit there and tweet, "Hey"?
Well, that used to drive me crazy. People in the media get death threats, and I'm like ever a legitimate death threat?
That's right.
If you're online giving your opinion on anything, you've gotten some sort of death threat or wishes of death upon you. I got one for reviewing an anime movie one time.
Okay, so without this recension, like, the Americans are supposed to win tonight.
Yeah.
They were supposed to get this far. We're paying a manager $6 million a year to get us further than this. All the pressure's on the Americans here, especially with all of this, extra layer that's been whipped up with, this red card going away.
Yep.
This would be a disaster loss.
I did see, and it may be AI, but it looked like, how they do those regions on who's cheering for which team. I saw one with tonight's game, USA and Belgium, and we were the only country cheering for us. Like, the entire world had Belgium's flag.
Yeah. Which I think you love that. But would you guys agree? I mean, we're supposed to be here.
Yeah, we were supposed to make this far.
Yeah, without the red card, the reason we're paying this manager so much money is to take us a little further. I think the Americans have been to the quarters 3 or 4 times before. So it's not like this is the furthest that the Americans have ever been if they win this game. If they win this game, I think successful tournament. I think if they lose it, again, a lot of pressure on the Americans. Would you guys not agree? A very disappointing run in the World Cup.
I would say expected. You know what I'm saying? It's what we were supposed to do. We were supposed to get to 16.
But
we had an easy draw, and then we won one game against an okay team. This is the best team we've played by far, as you expect in a knockout tournament like this.
You don't want to have excuses, but if he wasn't playing tonight, you've got a semblance of an excuse.
Yes.
Now that he is not playing, and maybe we've used a little political power for him to get the red card rescinded, and then you lose the game, it looks a lot worse.
Yeah, I love the guys on this team. The McKinney guy, when he's playing Ella Langley on the bus on the way back, and they're all singing along to the Ella Langley song, Choosing Texas, and everything else he had on the aux cord on the way back from the game the other night.
He even got Christian Pulisic to start singing Ella Langley on the bus.
Hit the chorus. He hit the chorus there. I just love the team, and hopefully they can do it tonight. I rearranged my golf tee time, so there was no chance. I gave me plenty of time to get home, shower, and
What an American you are.
Yeah.
You moved your golf tee time.
I mean, it was 2:00. It was going to be cut. We were going to make it, but it was going to be too close. I was like, let's move that thing up to 12:50.
There is no chance, though, we will see, as good as Cape Verde and Argentina was, that we will see another game. Like, I could watch soccer for the rest of my life. I don't think I would ever see a game like we saw last night.
Okay, let's get into that after we tell you about a couple of our great sponsors. One of them is Lance's Lock. He's back on American soil, and that means more winners coming at lanceslock.com, brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill.
We've got more World Cup action up and available for you today, more Major League Baseball. Jump on and win with us. Killing the World Cup. Had a bad day yesterday in the World Cup. Some dramatic games, but 58% going into yesterday's action. Jump on board, win with us. One big play tonight in that Portugal-Spain matchup. Make sure you jump on free play every single day at lanceslock.com. Always brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Whether you experience any plumbing, heating, cooling issues, home or business, they are ready to serve you. 205-229-2090. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
And our great friends at Central State Bank. Man, you talk about a local bank that will take care of all your needs. That's what our friends at Central State Bank will do for you. 100 years they've served Shelby County and Tallapoosa County with local decisions and personal service that feels like home. Whether you're starting a business, buying a car, or planning for tomorrow, we're here for every step. Central State Bank, rooted in community, driven by relationship, member FDIC. Okay, before we talk about the actual game, let's talk about the atmosphere last night in Mexico City. The team buses from England going into the game. Look at this video here. They're hitting them with fire extinguishers and foam guns and hoses and all sorts of stuff as they're going in there. Outside their hotels. You have a hot take on these fans.
Well, I mean, look, I think it is the SEC on steroids. I don't think we've ever seen this, and I don't know how you guys felt, but watching the England, that small patch of fans singing Wonderwall, I was like, I don't know, like, is somebody going to get shanked on the way out of here? Is somebody going to get shot and killed? And I'm being serious. Like, that
I said the same thing to Tyler. I was like, I saw somebody had like their 10-year-old daughter there. I wouldn't take my 10-year-old daughter to an Eagles game.
No. And like, this is like next level. If you don't believe the numbers, very dangerous country. They're a host country, whatever that's worth. I mean, the atmosphere was incredible. It was a snake pit. An absolute snake pit. Baton Rouge on a Saturday night does not even get like that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, whatever your top atmosphere in college football is, that was it twice over. And then you had the facts to back it up. That is a team that doesn't lose there. That is a team that had not given up a goal in the World Cup. And within a sequence of a minute, and I think in 41 seconds, they basically lost that match.
I mentioned this in our Hoover Toyota drive-in today. Will Oxford, Mississippi, Week 3 be as crazy as that?
I mean,
or not?
You
Less
kind
than
of
or
hope
greater
not.
than?
Like, if that's your fan base, like on the couch in the safety of my home, I love watching that. By the way, that Mexican team bitches and complains more. It was like LeBron on steroids, all 11 of them, all night long. And I give those officials credit. Like, there were some bad calls last night, but they were in their ear all night, and then the crowd behind it. Yeah. But I don't think Oxford can live up September 19th to what we saw last night. I've never seen, and seriously, this sounds hyperbolic today, and I don't know if you guys agree with this, I have never seen an atmosphere like that in sports ever.
But I tweeted it yesterday morning, and I planned my day around it and was thankful for the rain delay because I was having dinner with my daughter and her boyfriend. But I was so excited because I knew the atmosphere was going to be crazy.
I did too, but I didn't know it would be like that. Like that.
No, you're right.
Yeah, that was like, I don't know how to explain that. Really, a snake pit's probably the best way to do it.
But I just knew it was going to be like that, and I didn't think England would get out. Did you?
No, I mean, Mexico had them on the ropes for a solid 30 minutes where it was just only playing in the corners, and I think the announcers even brought it up.
Yeah, they're not only attacking
There's no
anymore.
way they can play in the box for the rest of the game.
Well, and you know, when you get the red card and you're down to 10 on 11, in that atmosphere with the pressure they were putting on in that altitude, and for them to be able to hold out, man, it reminded me of the movie 300. Again, it sounds hyperbolic, but you're like, holy shit, like, how are they doing this? Like, one of these kicks is going to get through. And, you know, the Pickford guy, which I took a shot at him a couple of weeks ago, I was like, I think this England offense, and you know, again, I know nothing about soccer, but just watching with the naked eye, like, I thought their one weakness was him. He was fantastic last night with how aggressive he was, and he needed to be that aggressive last night. But how they held out to the level they did, you know, you take that PK away, to give up one goal and with all that pressure, it was insane.
Yeah, I loved watching it. It was good, and it was fun earlier in the day. Holland and Norway got the big win over Brazil.
Most fun player to watch. Like, he does nothing except make incredible plays offensively.
Yeah, like he
bullies
never touches
guys.
the ball.
Yeah.
Until he scores. But like, even there was one that came off his left foot that was going to be an incredible kick. Like, the way he can position himself for his size, the header that he made, and then for him to, I guess he's left-footed. I don't know. Because they talk about, you know, Messi's got the best left foot, although he's a righty. Yeah. But when Holland, like, you know, he positions the ball and then kicks it with the left, like, he's just, I mean, his ability to score is crazy. But if you look at him, I mean, he looks like you would think somebody from Norway should look, right?
And he's not even that, like, he's big out there, but if you look at the numbers, so he's 6'4", he's an inch taller than me, but he's 205. I got 15 pounds on that guy.
Oh, okay, so he looks huge out there.
He looks huge,
yeah.
Like, and that's why, like, if you started, we talk about, like, the best American athletes to play soccer, like, if you got a LeBron out there, really, and he was leaning on people, like, physically, they couldn't hang with guys like that. Like, this does show you, like, our best athletes, we would smoke people, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You put somebody like Calvin Johnson or Randy Moss in goal.
Well, maybe if we paid them enough, we could, you know, if we start paying them NFL-like money, Major League Baseball-like money, maybe we'll dominate this sport.
Shit, they all make that kind of money. Like the Howland, I looked up yesterday, he's $26 million.
Yeah.
You know, his American girlfriend's got a $350,000 purse he bought her.
Well, for a club, he plays for Manchester City, which they historically just shell out big money for strikers, even compared to, like, everybody else in the Premier League. They've got deep pockets.
He looks to me, follow me here, like a cartoon character that would have been against Michael Jordan in Space Jams. He looks a little bit like the other team.
Looks like he's one of the Monstars.
And a blend with that animated monsters to, this is bad now, The Hills Have Eyes, the people that lived up in the hills. It's like a blend of the two.
A little off.
Yeah.
He does look like the quintessential Viking, though.
Yeah.
I was going to say he looks like someone from How to Train Your Dragon.
It is more animation than rough around the edges like the Viking show. But watching it, I mean, he's terrifying watching him run around out there.
Yeah.
But again, to put it in perspective, like, he looks massive out there, but like he would be an NFL wide receiver. He's Puka Nacua.
By the way, just now came across that Belgium learned about, they're really upset today. They're waiting on an appeal. This is going to be in their head, hopefully, leading into the game.
They need to stop bitching about this. Like, there's not much they can do, and if you're going to bitch, do it behind the scenes.
They need to start doing pregame bill. It just came across the wire that they were like, they're upset that they heard about the report through the media, that FIFA didn't tell them first.
This is not a death. They don't have to, like, alert them and give them the heads up.
That's how the American guys heard about it. They were on their way to a practice, and they heard about it and thought it was not real. They thought it was AI generated.
Look at Erling Haaland, though. Yeah. That picture. I don't know if people are looking at this right now.
Yeah, they are now.
I mean, he looks massive. And that's and with their goalkeeper, who was incredible yesterday, some of the saves that he made. But that's all I would do is just kick deep to that guy and let him just muscle people out.
We'll talk more about the Americans playing tonight coming up a little bit later on the show. Today, the show being brought to you in part by the great folks at Hoover Toyota, HooverToyota.com.
A lot of Toyotas on the island. Look, if you're in the market for car, SUV, truck, new or pre-owned, our friends at Hoover Toyota, they can help you out. They got the best inventory out there. They've got that on-site finance department headed by Kim. Get in, see all the fine folks. Conveniently located on Highway 150. They've rolled out that red carpet program for Birmingham, Alabaster, and Vestavia for more than 2 decades now. Stop in, see our friend Scott Peoples. Make sure you tell him the next round sent you for more information, not only on the great inventory, but also the on-site finance department. Go online today, HooverToyota.com.
And our buddy Alexander Shannara, Trial Attorneys, a national firm with Southern roots, headquartered right here in Birmingham, Alabama. In 25 years, the firm has grown to over 150 lawyers, supported by over 500 dedicated team members there. Their elite trial lawyers have recovered over $2 billion by maintaining Alexander's core values of integrity, mastery, passion, and success. Alexander's mission was to create a firm that could handle any issue his community faced. The firm now handles not only a personal injury claim, but claims to fire and storm damage, bad drug and device claims, disability, workers' comp, and a host of other claims. If you find yourself in need of a lawyer, call Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. You pay nothing unless they win the case with our friend Alexander Shannara there. All right, we start our 40 and 40 in the next segment. But I always like to show those that just missed. So basically 41 and anyone else that got a vote that didn't make it in there. And one team is going to pop out for you. It is actually a team that would have been team number 41 if we did a 41 and 41. Here's the list of those teams that got votes that did not make it into the 40 and 40. For those listening, I'll read through them real quick and get your reaction, LT. But Kansas State is there, Navy, Oklahoma State, Pitt, Florida State is there, James Madison, New Mexico, Tulane, UNLV, Minnesota, Arizona State, Jack State, Brownie, Mississippi State, and North Carolina all got votes, but just missed our 40 and 40 countdown this year. Obviously, Kansas State jumps out at you, right?
Yeah, look, I had Kansas State in my top 25. There was one other team on that graphic that I had in my top 25. But I think with Avery Johnson coming back for his 4th year starting quarterback, I think the new regime now at Kansas State, what Colin Klein is going to bring, and then you start to look at the schedule. I think it's a very, very forgiving schedule. Their most difficult road game is at Arizona State. The game will be virtually a pick, or at TCU. But they avoid BYU, they avoid Utah, and they avoid Texas Tech. You avoid the top 3 teams in the Big 12 with that schedule and with that experience at quarterback. I don't know how they're not in the top 25.
Well, part of it's my fault. I don't have them in my top 25. So I'm one of the people that did not include Kansas State. You give a lot of good reasons, so they just missed. Navy could have a good year. We expect Oklahoma State to bounce back. Pitt's always scary. Florida State, James Madison, Mexico, Tulane, UNLV. UNLV will be interesting in the sort of watered-down Mountain West with a good team if Jackson Arnold's good at quarterback. Weird seeing Arizona State's logo down there. And there's Belichick, dead last on that graphic. Got a vote, though, from somebody.
I cannot believe somebody gave them a vote with that schedule. I mean, their schedule is absolutely brutal.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the other team I had was Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, 15 returning starters. The quarterback play as a true freshman last year was good. And, you look at their out-of-conference, they're going to be easily 3-0 there. And then, you've got a doable ACC schedule. I think they could be one of the surprises in the ACC this year.
All right, so that's our 40 and 40 others receiving votes. We'll count down one team every show until this year to the kickoff of the season. So don't hold your breath waiting to see if you're a Kansas State fan or a Navy fan or any of those on your screen right now. It will never pop up. You didn't make it. We'll show you who's at number 40 when we come back. Bruce Feldman scheduled to be on our show in hour number 2 to talk college football. We have viewing menu trash and, of course, 4 downs, as always, on the show that's brought to you today by the wonderful folks at Crane U. LT, tell us about those great folks if you want to change your career or maybe get recertified in something.
The Gott's beautiful daughter, Frances, got married the Saturday before I left. Had an opportunity to go to that wedding and catch up with Scott and Nicole and all of our fine folks at Crane U, but they are the best in the business. If you've been thinking about maybe a career in the crane industry, first big step is getting certified, becoming fully compliant. Crane U is here to guide you every single step of the way, from first-time operators to seasoned professionals seeking recertification. Their industry-leading training programs built for all experience levels, backed by a team with over 100 years of combined real-world expertise. Crane U delivers the knowledge, hands-on skills, and confidence you need to succeed in the field. For more information, craneu.com. That is craneu.com.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at Scott Forrester TV.
The insurance company called. They offered you a settlement. Sounds good, right? Wrong. They're counting on you not knowing what your case is really worth. They're betting you take pennies on the dollar because you're scared and overwhelmed. Don't fall for it. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys has recovered over $2 billion for going to war with insurance companies that try this every single day. Call 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. Free consultation. You pay nothing unless they win. Physical office location, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice: Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, turn on automatic download so you can catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed. Thanks for always making the next round a big part of your day.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the next round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the next round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urology centers, alabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
We'll get to our Hoover Toyota 40 and 40 countdown here in just a second. And our countdown to football. But I hope everybody had a wonderful July 4th weekend. LT was on vacation all last week down in the Caribbean. Hope some of you got to a lake or to the Gulf or to the pool or whatever you ended up doing and had a blast celebrating the 250th of the United States. Of the Sweet 16 teams left in the tournament of the World Cup, do you think the Americans are the youngest country? Because we always talk about 250 is not that much.
Maybe Colombia.
Okay. We're actually closer to the middle of the pack than you would think. Egypt is the oldest, 5,125 years.
Yeah.
Canada is the youngest in the Sweet 16, 159 years. Belgium, who we play tonight, 4 years away from their bicentennial at 196. That's Brazil at 204, Argentina at 210, Paraguay at 215, Colombia at 216. What I'm learning is,
by the way, those Brazilians are classless.
Yeah. What I'm learning is that South America all these countries didn't happen until after we had claimed our independence here. Mexico even younger than the United States at 216. Now I thought Mexico owned part of. Well, I guess we started, and then we ended up having to take some of Mexico away for Texas and some of that stuff. So that surprised me, but only, the European countries are older than us. Egypt, though, the oldest at 5,125.
It is amazing how, I would have thought that we were the youngest, just the way we talk about 250 years and how, the island I was on, St. Martin, it was divided between those two countries, the Netherlands and France, in 1648.
Before us.
Yeah. So, it's just been a lot been going on since before 1776.
I did a little research, though. 250 years into Egypt's run as a country at 5,100 and something now. That was when they were constructing the pyramids. Some pharaoh who's buried there, I assume. Sounds like the F word. He was in charge 250 years into the Egyptian.
If we really believe they did the pyramids.
Well,
yeah.
Either the aliens were doing it during that time or the Egyptians. So we've done a lot more than the Egyptians did 250 years into our existence.
So how was the celebration? Unfortunately, I was traveling. I wanted to get back for Bullet and Chili because some dogs don't take fireworks well.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make sure that I was there for their basically for their anxiety.
Yeah. No, it was fantastic all over the country, I think.
But we got delayed, so 13-hour travel day for me. So basically all I did on the 4th was travel, didn't get home till 12:30, so I didn't get to partake.
There were some, weather delays at the National Fair, but it seemed to be all positive there at up in D.C. The stuff at Mount Rushmore looked fantastic. All the fireworks here in New York City.
Did it feel different here, though?
It felt a little bigger than normally, a little bigger. There were 500,000 people in the streets of Nashville on Boardwalk.
I saw that. It looked absolutely miserable.
It looked like Times Square. And New York City basically did a, ball drop to their fireworks show. Like all the networks had special programming going on. So it all went really, really well, in my opinion. I don't know how everybody else feels. All right, before we tell you again about Hoover Toyota, our 40 and 40 unveiling, we'll do team number 40 today. Our Innisfree countdown to kickoff is at 55 days. Your game day tradition is Innisfree Irish Pub in Tuscaloosa and Lakeview. Irish-inspired pub food, the signature Irish gold sauce, and always a world-class atmosphere at Innisfree. 55 days to kick off, and our 40 and 40 every day brought to you by our friends at Hoover Toyota.
Again, stop in, see Scott Peoples, Harold, Kim, all of the great folks right there at Hoover Toyota, conveniently located on Highway 150. Best inventory, best on-site finance department, that red carpet program for 2 decades now. For more information, hoovertoyota.com.
All right, Forrester, give us team number 40, if you will, in our countdown here. At number 40, it is that big block in, the Nebraska Cornhuskers coming in at number 40. Your initial thought on Nebraska at 40?
I was higher on Nebraska last year than I am this year. A lot of it was with Raiola coming back at quarterback. And when you look at Nebraska last year, they were 6-2 when Raiola started a game and finished the game. They're up 14-6, second half against USC. It was by far Jaden Maeva's worst game of the season. Nebraska's pass defense was fantastic last year, one of the few highlights of the team that went 7-6. But after he goes down, they end up losing that game. They lose 4 of 5. They end up 7-6. They haven't had a 10-win season at this proud program since 2012. In today's college football, it is not that difficult. Well, I shouldn't say that. A program like this every 4 or 5 years should be winning 10 games. You should have a double-digit season. They've had 13 straight seasons of not going double digits, and 8 of those losing seasons. And Matt Rule, we all love him, but when he took this over, you felt like it was going to be a really good rebuild. Kind of stuck in mud, 19-19 in 3 seasons, 10-17 in the Big Ten in 3 seasons.
And, now you make that change at quarterback, and the voter that had Nebraska the highest was Greg Nelson, who had him, of all of our voters, had him 20th in the ranking. So it's hard for me to picture them being 20th in the country going into the season when you lose Dylan Raiola. I mean, that's a big loss.
It is. Now, Anthony Calandria comes in. This is a guy that played a lot at Virginia and then transferred last year, went to UNLV, put up really good numbers. He's kind of in the same build is what you would see with Diego Pavia. 6 feet, 200, 205 pounds, bulky, can move, almost 700 rushing yards with 10 touchdowns on the ground, 23 passing touchdowns, 9 interceptions. I do think it is a downgrade. A lot of experience at quarterback. You do have Dana Holgorsen coming back for his second full season as offensive coordinator, and you go out and you get San Diego State's defensive coordinator and Rob Ulrich. That was a really good Aztec defense. It was 11th in total defense last year. So you've got some interesting things going on. The offensive line's got to be a lot better. They were 15th in sacks given up last year. And when they went 28 points plus, which is not a lot of points, they were 6-0 last year. So the offense has just got to get more consistent. Calandria is going to have to be really good. But I look at this schedule, although they're going to be favored in their first 5 games, the second half of the schedule is brutal.
Okay, save the schedule for after we hear from Matt Rule here, because I do want to bring up the schedule because they're just the opposite of what you just described with Kansas State in the Big 12. But here's Matt Rule. This is back from December when they were getting ready to go to the Las Vegas Bowl. And he had changed a lot of personnel on his coaching staff, making some changes. And it sounds like Matt Rule sort of made an off-season reset to his Cornhusker program.
What do you think when, with all the changes, when you hear the term program reset? Is this a reset?
No, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I've never heard the term program reset. We're building. The program was dead for 10 years. We went to back-to-back bowl games. I don't know why why Nebraskans, we are moving forward. It's just not as fast as Indiana did it. And people ask me that all the time. I'm frustrated. But we did it a lot faster than some of the other teams that got hired at the same time did it. So we are just continuing to build. Coach Belichick told me years ago, it'll take you 3 years to get the right staff. So we're just every year we're evolving. We're getting better. But program reset, I mean, I don't know why anyone would say that. Just maybe it makes people click on more things. I don't know, but man, we just won 7 games. Should it have been 9? Yes, it should have been 9. So I'm tweaking. I'm just tweaking, right? Tweaking. And the thing I hope everyone appreciates at least as I sit up here all the time, I say, it's me, it's me, it's me. Now I have to make tough decisions. So when I fire a coach, I'm not saying it's his fault. What I'm saying is I have to just tweak this. We got to get better and better and better. So we won 5 the first year. We won 6 the second year. We won 7 the last year. We fell apart at the end of the year. We're not doing a good enough job at the end of the season. So we're going to look at everything. That's not a reset. That's just like a process of like just growing and growing and growing and building and building and building, so.
I'm glad he brought up Indiana. Because just imagine, and not that there was, he was ever in the mix for this, if Cignetti gets the job instead of Matt Rule, people aren't giving Cignetti the credit he gets at Indiana. People are like, finally somebody was able to unleash Nebraska back to their glory years.
That's right.
It just feels a lot different at Indiana, but if Indiana can do it, why can't Nebraska do it?
What's crazy is that if Cignetti had done basically what Matt Rule had done his first 2 years, if he'd won like 6 games, 7 games, we'd still be, not the way we're doing it, but we'd be like, man, Kirk Cignetti's doing a good job at
But
Indiana.
It would be one of those where it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. Every now and then when we glance by somebody's schedule, they got to play Indiana. By the way, that Cignetti guy's doing a pretty good job there.
We'd be like, God, you know who they should hire?
Yeah.
They should hire that Cignetti guy. He's gone to 2 bowl games in a row at Indiana.
Now, he didn't exactly say it, Matt Rule, but, going from 5 to 6 to 7 is progression. And that was the best version of Nebraska so far last year. Raiola doesn't go out. They probably do win a couple of those games, and they probably do go 9-4, and it does feel a little bit different. But now back to the schedule. I just don't – to me, there are 4 or 5 games they can't win on this schedule.
Yeah, starting with the fact they played, on paper anyway, the 3 best teams in the Big Ten.
Yeah, and when you've got to again, let's just say that they open 5-0. Which is very doable. They're going to be favored in those first 5 games, but I just don't see a world they beat Indiana. Then they got to go to Oregon. Washington is going to be a dogfight. That game will be around a pick. At Illinois, dogfight. Rutgers will not be a cakewalk. And then Ohio State and at Iowa.
That's right.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they go backwards and go 6-6 this year.
That's right. They could be 5-0 and then finish 6-6.
Yeah. And it's almost like he's kind of like he knows what this back half looks like. Like last year, you could blame it on Raiola and that injury, and that was a legitimate excuse. But when you look at the back half of this, he knows that it is going to be difficult. And really, if Nebraska is going to have any semblance of progression and going from 7 to 8 wins, you got to start 5-0.
That's our Hoover Toyota 40 and 40 today. Nebraska in at number 40. One team voted on by you and us up here all the way until the start of the college football season. We'll do team 39.
Did you have them in your top 25?
I did not.
Yeah. Last year, I made the mistake, and not the mistake, I just went on and did it, but I did all 40. I did not do all 40 this year. I probably would have had them around 40, though. Well, maybe.
I mean, your top 25 smelled like rum. It was from the Caribbean.
Well, I did it on the plane, actually.
It worked out good. You had time. You had time on the tarmac there.
I had a text from Lance at about 12:30 a.m.
Yep. I did it on the plane. We literally, back to the tarmac, sat on the hot-ass tarmac in St. Martin for 2.5 hours. There are no layups in air travel anymore.
Nope. No easy trips anymore. You can't go anywhere easy.
First world problem, no doubt. But it is frustrating.
Yep. I'd like to say you get what you pay for, but yours was mechanical issues, and you were sitting on the tarmac, and I said it's better sitting on the tarmac than sitting in the Caribbean, floating on a life raft.
Yeah. What should be protocol? Like if it's the company's fault, look, it's all about safety. I get that, but if they throw your delay off where people are missing connecting flights left and right, and you order a beer, shouldn't they comp the beer?
I think all your reconnections should be free, and then anything you drink on the plane, at least one free drink.
Yeah,
at least one free drink for every hour you're sitting there.
The pilot coming on and saying, "Hey, look, really sorry about this. We're going to get everybody a complimentary cocktail."
Yeah, one cocktail right off the bat. And if you're still there a second hour, hey man, it's still going to be another hour here.
But here's what happened.
They had to go down to Napa to get that fan belt.
I've heard in 2027 they're getting rid of any flight under 5 hours, and this could be a Snopes. You might be able to debunk this. Any flight under 5 hours domestic, there's going to be no food or beverage service.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's correct or not, but with us getting the delay, it was going to be a 4-hour flight to begin with. Then they first come around, and I order some of those snack boxes. You can get them for like $15.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
They were completely out, and all they had was like, a bag of missed dots for like, $7. anyway, I ended up spending like $60 because I, bought a couple of beers and a drink here, and they didn't even want to give you one drink.
I always thought international flights, drinks were free. Is that not true?
No, first class.
I don't know, but Delta has eliminated all complimentary food and beverage service in the main cabin and Comfort Plus flights under 350 miles. Full service resumes in Delta first. United Airlines doesn't offer any in-flight snacks on flights under 300 miles. And for American Airlines and Southwest, they don't offer it if it's under 250 miles.
That's pretty crazy. And for whatever reason, those pretzels and Cheez-Its taste better. Because it's almost like swimming. You get really hungry flying. I don't know why.
The honey roasted peanuts.
Yeah. It's the altitude.
But flying is a pain in the ass, but necessary evil.
Yeah, got to do it. Can't get to the island unless you take a long, slow boat, unless you're going there. All right, so before we do the viewing menu and get to Bruce Feldman coming up, the show today being brought to you in part by our friends at Johnston RV Center. Johnston RV Center. Huge selection all the time, and of course those fifth wheels are so popular with our friends at Johnston RV. Nick Johnson, by the way, birthday over the weekend. Happy birthday, Nick.
Happy birthday,
Nick. Tremendous human being there. He and that family-owned organization up there taking care of you. More than 300 other RVs to go with the fifth wheels, all sizes, all price ranges. They've got the RV warranty forever. It covers for life everything new and qualified pre-owned on the lot there. The I-65 exit 304 in Coleman and exit 334 in Decatur, both those locations. You can see everything they have to offer, including the wonderful fifth wheels, all right there at johnstonrvcenter.com, johnstonrvcenter.com. And Michelson with a viewing menu, LT.
Yeah, 205-969-8100. That number I called way back in 2003. If you've been thinking about LASIK, stop procrastinating. Make the phone call that I made. Ask for Amy Toe. The next round sent you. She is going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. You have zero to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. 205-969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
So over the weekend, I didn't do a whole lot of theater going.
Because of the World Cup. It was that good.
World Cup's just been that good. I did go see a new movie called Young Washington because it's 4th of July weekend and wanted to be a little patriotic.
But if he never lied or did anything bad, how's that a good movie?
It focuses on his military career in the French and Indian War and him rising through the ranks and building up a sort of militia in Virginia. And it was pretty solid.
Yeah, great
I enjoyed
backstory.
it.
Yeah, so it ended up being good.
Yeah, it ended up being pretty solid. Wasn't crazy about the guy who played young George Washington. His performance was just kind of bland, but I think you have to go that route when you're writing George Washington because you don't want him to fall into like a certain archetype or whatever, and then everybody sort of criticize it for inaccuracy. So you just kind of have him as a blank slate character, but people like Ben Kingsley and Andy Serkis bring a lot of personality into the film, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, Larry David in it? No,
nope, not this one.
I watched the first episode of Larry. What is his new show called?
Yeah, Larry, American History.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, typical Larry David, funny stuff. Not as funny as Curb, but pretty funny.
See, I watched it and
pretty good.
I stopped halfway through and told him, I was like, can't wait to get Lance's review on this. I did not think it was funny.
Yeah. I mean, it depends if you like Larry David. Like he's got such a dry sense of humor and just like it is funny, some of the things like they're rewriting the Declaration of Independence and some of the things that he wanted to put in there.
Yeah. But I did not like I didn't like the whole World War I trench at all.
Well, I mean, I thought the funny things is like, hey, that guy, man, I've lost so many friends here. Well, at least you don't have to keep in touch with them.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just like some of Larry's observations. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't Curb Your Enthusiasm. I give that an A+. This would be more like a C. Not bad to watch late night on an edible. Yeah. Speaking of which, I watched Hungry in the Islands, the hippopotamus.
I meant to rent that one.
Loose in the swamp, and don't bother. I mean, we kind of knew what we were getting into.
See, I think I'll enjoy it. But I also love the stupid horror movies.
I mean, it's up there. It's not as good as Primate. It's not nearly as good as Cocaine Bear. I don't even know where I would settle on it. I mean, it was very, very average. I don't know if you guys brought up what I saw on the flight over. Did you guys?
We did not bring it up.
I sent this to the backroom guys because I thought that they would get a kick out of this, but I was just trying to find something to watch, and I came across The Sandlot. So I actually watched it on the flight over.
What'd you think?
Very hokey. Like, if I would have watched that as, anywhere from 8 to 14 years old, I would have loved it back in the day in 1992, but the dog was stupid, and I just thought it was really, really hokey.
I did.
The dog might be a little overplayed, but the rest of that movie is spot on.
How old were you saw it? Because I go back and I brought this up I think a couple of weeks ago. I watched the Legend of Billie Jean. It's an awful movie, but because I saw it when I was a kid, there's still something about it that I enjoy. It's nostalgic. But how old were you, Forrester?
I couldn't tell you, but I mean,
you were young.
I was young, but I mean, it's one that I could put on this afternoon, and if it was on, I'd stop and watch it.
Okay. Dunaway knew that I would think it was.
Yeah, because I did, and I'm a hokey guy, and I didn't like it, so I knew you'd hate it. And I knew that you would like the Larry David because the Larry David one, I liked the rewriting of the Declaration of Independence, and then the worst one was the
Alexander Bell.
Bell.
That was not good.
And the Rosa Parks one was second.
Yeah.
And then the third one was the trench guy.
Really, the only good one was the Declaration.
Yeah, and so it could get better.
But I like Michael Chiklis getting a cameo and Henry Winkler getting a cameo.
Yeah.
I will not seek that out. It will not be in my queue to consistently watch, but if it comes across every now and then, I'll check one out.
Yeah, but I wanted to watch it because the premise could be good. But episode 2 is out, and I think Jimmy Kimmel's in it. Maybe I misread that, but apparently there's something good in episode 2. I saw people talking about it, so may get a chance to check that one out at some point tonight. Anything else, Tyler?
Netflix has added an Oscar-winning movie to its catalog, and that is last year's Hamnet, which is about William Shakespeare and his wife, and they're celebrating the birth of their son, but their son dies tragically, and it inspires Shakespeare to write Hamlet, and it is it was surprisingly good. I have no interest in Shakespeare, always hated reading poetry in high school and all that, but loved this movie. Paul Mescal is in it as William Shakespeare. His performance is pretty solid, but Jessie Buckley as Shakespeare's wife is absolutely fantastic. She won the Best Leading Actress award at the Oscars last year.
So Mescal's got to be better as Shakespeare than he was as a gladiator.
He definitely was. Yeah.
I mean, that's not a really high bar. This is the only Best Picture nominee I did not see last year.
It's worth your time.
Well, I had a chance to watch it on the flight, but I went with The Sandlot.
Sandlot's better as far as just entertaining. I wouldn't go to Hamnet to be entertained.
Okay.
I went there to have an opinion on the Best Leading Actress race. And then finally, Peacock has added Tropic Thunder to its catalog. That's just a movie that I don't think we'll see again.
It's just so well done, so politically incorrect, and Robert Downey Jr. Can you imagine if he tried to pull that off?
I mean, the Always Sunny guys pull it off occasionally, but I think outside of Robert Downey Jr., they're probably the only ones that can get away with that in this day and age.
That is what Tyler and LT is watching. A new Next Reels will come out this week as well. More details on that later in the show. When we come back, Bruce Feldman scheduled to be with us from The Athletic. Show being brought to you by our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing, stormrestorationroofing.com. That's Greg from Pell City. He's one of our 45 voters, but better known than his college football knowledge for his knowledge about rooftops and keeping your home in perfect working order. Get a free, no-cost roof inspection, 205-542-3531, 542-3531 at stormrestorationroofing.com. He also handles storm roof repairs after damages to your roofs through storms. He handles roof replacements. He's got a soft wash program to make your roof look better. It's all right there at stormrestorationroofing.com. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, stormrestorationroofing.com.
Facing time for a crime, huh? Got a list of charges looming over your head. 5-0 got your back up against the wall. Them alphabet boys trying to sit you down on that rack. Well, have no fear. The People's Defender is here. Attorney J.B. Brown, powered by Alexander Shannara Trial Attorney. He meticulously investigates every case and challenges evidence, dedicated to protecting the rights and futures of individuals facing criminal charges. Hit him up now at thepeoplesdefender.com. Thepeoplesdefender.com.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats are all in one place. NextRound.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know. You might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all your favorite Next Round gear by visiting NextRound.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at NextRound.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from NextRound.store.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Hour number 2 now. Brownie on vacation. Lance Taylor, Jim Dunaway, all the guys behind the big wall there. We started our 40 and 40 last hour, our countdown to the college football season. Nebraska is team number 40, voted on by you, our voters, and us up here. So we'll do the rest of the countdown starting tomorrow with number 39, one team every show until we get to the start of the college football season. We're 55 days away in our Innisfree countdown to kickoff. 55 days. Your game day tradition is Innisfree Irish Pub in Tuscaloosa and Lakeview. Irish-inspired pub food, the signature Irish gold sauce, and always a world-class atmosphere with our friends at Innisfree. 55 days to kick off and always a great time at Inverness Country Club.
Yeah, they will not see Brown out there this week. They're probably going to do a
welfare check.
Yeah, probably so. The Inverness Country Club, they have got memberships that fit everyone, from the social with that great resort-style pool that people are enjoying this summer to the golf, which Brown is enjoying at least every other day. Childcare, also a big plus. You and your wife want a day of golf or tennis. Guess what? Drop the kid, knowing they're safe on site. Have yourself a day on the court or course. Whatever your interests are, you can find it at the Inverness Country Club. Best days happen there. To take a tour of the unbelievable club, go see our friend Aaron. You can check it out online, iccalabama.com.
Bruce Feldman scheduled to be with us from The Athletic. When he pops up, we will jump on with him. In the meantime, I want to ask the question to you. Well, here's Bruce. He's popping up right now, so we'll work our way to him. We're 55 days away from college football. The AP poll will come out in about a month. And later in the show, I want to ask you your expectations of where you think Alabama is going to be in that first AP poll, because the feeling is around here that maybe not a top 10 team preseason this year. We'll get to that.
We'll at least be their lowest since 2007. Nick Saban's second year. No, 2008.
Yeah.
His second year preseason, I think Alabama was number 20.
Just how low can it go, though? Bruce Feldman joins us, always kind with his time, from The Athletic, a big college football guy. Bruce, we're 55 days away from week 0. Are you already ready for football? You ready to go?
I am. Yeah. I've been in Texas for like the last week, and tomorrow, from about like 100 yards from where I'm sitting right now, we'll be at Big 12 Media Days for the first of the conference media days to kick off. So heck yeah, I'm ready for it.
So obviously the Brendan Sorsby story is huge. And you probably talked about that 1,000 times. So I want to ask you, without Brendan Sorsby, is Texas Tech still your team to beat in the Big 12?
They are. They've spent a ton of money. They did last year. They bought a really talented defensive line, and it made a huge difference. Obviously, David Bailey was a top 2 pick, and they had a bunch of other guys go in the top 75. I don't think they'll be quite as good on the defense because they lost, they replaced some of the really good players in the front 7. They still had pretty good secondary guys back, but I don't think they'll be quite as good. Bailey was a generational kind of player for Texas Tech. They'd never had anybody that good on defense and the defensive line. I mean, they had Zach Thomas, obviously wasn't as high a pick, but just the number of guys they've been able to bring in on defense, I think gives them a big advantage. They still have a good offensive line. Will Hammond is interesting because he's the guy who was a big recruit when they signed him out of high school. He was the backup last year at quarterback. And he played really, really well when Baron Morton got hurt at Utah on the road, tough place to play. He was a big reason why they won that game. Then he kind of struggled. It was a little up and down before getting hurt. Now they expect him to be close to 100% right before the start of the season. I think he will be very good for them. The part that I think maybe people underestimate with this team is just how deep they are. And I feel like they have a level of star power. BYU is really good. I don't think BYU is top to bottom as deep as Texas Tech is, because Texas Tech has spent a fortune to do this.
It's fascinating, Bruce. We went back a year ago. We were talking about the Big 12 as the most unpredictable league. We saw Arizona State just 2 years ago selected last in the media poll, and they were a play away from beating Texas in the college football playoff. Fast forward to last year, Texas Tech, BYU, Utah, all really good teams, and it seems like that's carried over to this year. Do you see any Arizona State-like sleeper in this league coming out this year?
I'm not sure I do, because I feel like your assessment is spot on. Again, there's been times like a couple of years ago, Utah, the bottom fell out and they went from being really good to kind of meh. And Oklahoma State with Mike Gundy was wildly unpredictable. And then the bottom fell out with them. The team that I don't know if they could be a playoff team, but I think can be a top 25 team, and they were god-awful last year, was Oklahoma State. And what has changed it, guys, is not only has Eric Morris come in from North Texas, but he's bringing Drew Mestemaker, who's one of the best quarterbacks in the country, and a lot of guys from what was a really good North Texas team. And I just think sometimes when you have a completely different attitude shift, and in this case, you're going from Gundy, who had been around for a long, long time, and now you're getting Eric Morris, who was a former Texas Tech receiver under Mike Leach, but is a younger guy. And I feel like for the people inside the program who are still there, I feel like that can probably give them a spark, as well as the guys who he brought with him. A little like Signetti, what he did when he got to Indiana with his James Madison guys, can kind of hit the ground running. So I would not be surprised if they can win 9 games. I think they're the sleeper to me in this conference because they were a 1-win team last year.
Bruce Feldman, The Athletic, Alexander Shinara, Trial Attorneys Hotline. Bruce, SoCal's your home, so you brought up Signetti. It seems like every coach that takes over a program, especially those that leave a lower team like James Madison, gets labeled with the Signetti plan now. Bob Chesney at UCLA. Is it? What are the expectations for UCLA fans? Are they looking at Chesney and are they expecting him to Kirk Signetti this thing up there at 90210?
No, I think they got to be more realistic than that. That was lightning in a bottle with Signetti. I think now, fairness to be said though, like UCLA football was as bad as Indiana was, right? Like in the year before. I mean, UCLA is bad. He brought some of his guys, myself and my colleague Antonio Morales at The Athletic did a really kind of deep dive on West Coast recruiting, where he interviewed a bunch of Southern California coaches, high school coaches. And the biggest revelation was just how Bob Chesney, who is a Northeast guy, been a small school guy. He was at Holy Cross, and then he replaced Signetti at James Madison, but has never been in a big school and never been on the West Coast. And most of his staff, not all of it, most of it are not California guys, but they have made a really good impression. They have a top 20 recruiting class right now. We'll see how many end up signing and where that eventually shakes out. But he has brought a lot of energy and enthusiasm around a program that really needed it, because they were, the Deshaun Foster hire was a disaster. I think they have a chance because remember, they still have Nico Maliava, who's really talented. I mean, he's up and down, but last year when he looked good, he looks really good. I don't think they have enough talent around him to be more than like a 6-win team. But if they get to a bowl, that's a huge first step for Chesney.
On the other side of the city, Lincoln Riley going into year 5 at USC. It seemed to me watching USC, the team was better, 9-win team last year than that first year 11-win team with Caleb Williams. I'm just talking about overall. Caleb Williams, obviously a special player. But where are you on USC, where the state of the program is right now, and where is USC on Lincoln Riley?
It's a really complicated question, right? He's been there a while. I mean, you mentioned Signetti didn't take him very long. Lincoln has made some comments about, he's talked about USC in a light where it's not sat well with people who listen to it go, these feel like excuses. They did sign the number 1 ranked high school class this past year. And so that's brought some energy and some optimism. Jaden Mayava is a good quarterback. He's back. They lost the best player in the program, Mekhi Lemon, but I think they feel like they should be a better top to bottom team. Now Gary Patterson comes in to run the defense. It's going to be interesting to see how he and Lincoln Riley, old Big 12 nemesis, mesh. And that will be a really fascinating subplot. Their schedule is much harder this year than it was last year, though. So I think people are looking at it and go, if Lincoln can get them into the playoff, then I think people may get on the bandwagon. But right now, most of the USC fans are checked out on Lincoln Riley. And I think they know that the AD, Jen Cohen, she did not hire him. She has brought in Chad Bowden, who's a GM for the football program from Notre Dame a year and a half ago, who basically makes a lot of decisions that typically the head football coach does. It's a really weird dynamic there. I don't know if they have the money people to get to if he doesn't, if it's a 7-5 year and it's disappointing. I don't know if they have the money people who'd ready to step up because the buyout is so big. the old regime of leadership that USC had, they were so desperate for the splash hire that they gave Lincoln Riley a deal that was kind of outrageous in terms of like they were stuck with it, better or worse. And it's been, for the most part, worse. So, this is a more talented team, but they may be more talented and may not win, make a playoff. And he's been here a long time, actually.
Bruce, you know how it works down here. If we if we say positive things about Kalen DeBoer in Alabama, we're billed as homers. But we did our ranking of the SEC coaches in the offseason, and we had Kalen DeBoer number 2 behind, or maybe we had him 4. It was very high.
No, I think it was number 2 behind Kirby Smart.
Yeah, number 2 behind Kirby Smart. That's what I thought. And people were like, come on, ahead of Steve Sarkisian, ahead of Lane Kiffin. What is the perception nationally from where you sit of Kalen DeBoer after 2 years replacing Nick Saban?
I think it's probably better nationally than it is locally, right? Because I don't disagree with how you guys positioned it. I mean, Kalen DeBoer has done more than Steve Sarkisian, and he's done more than Lane Kiffin. You look at what he took over at Washington, that was a 4-win team. In the second year, they beat Steve Sarkisian and they played for the national title, right? He won at Fresno State. It wasn't like that was a blue blood program, right? And now he took over the hardest situation that probably anybody's going to have, where you're replacing the greatest coach literally in college football history, right? So, and it has been up and down, but, look, in fairness to DeBoer, this is a different college football world. This isn't the same animal that Nick Saban was working around, where there wasn't NIL and there certainly wasn't the transfer portal, where you're having to have every player in your program as a free agent every year. And it just creates a lot of, I don't want to say unintended consequences and headaches, but it's just really different. And I think that has created overhauled the balance of power, but has created a lot more parity within the SEC. And we see that. I think he's a really, really good coach. You look at his record against top teams, Sark's record against top teams, Lane's record, they're not even close to what Kalen DeBoer has done. So again, those guys are really good coaches, but I think DeBoer is a really, really good coach. I just think it is such a hard job to replace Nick Saban, and I think there's been a lot of growing pains. I think it's a positive that now they're at least bigger physically on the defensive side of the ball. I think that'll help them, and we'll see what they get out of whoever's going to be the quarterback. I think the other thing, they had a big recruit in EJ Crowell to keep locally. I mean, it's been a while since Alabama's had what felt like a great running back or a big time running game, and we'll see if they can get back to that. I'm very curious, because I think I heard what you said about where they're going to be ranked in the preseason. I mean, I don't think they're a top 5 team, but I do think they can be a playoff team. Just depends on how good they get, offensively in the quarterback play, and if the run game gets a lot better, which I think it will.
I think I've got to lean on how you'll answer this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. So Brent Venables, Mike Elko, Josh Heupel, all 1 playoff appearance each. But looking for the next 3 to 5 years, which program will be in the better spot, Oklahoma, Tennessee, or Texas A&M?
I'm going to say Texas A&M. I mean, if you ask me of the 3 guys, the guy I had the most confidence as a head coach is Elko. I also like how he's recruiting. I mean, Venables, it's been up and down. They were, he's a good defensive coach. I think they'll be better this year with John Mateer, assuming he stays healthy. I feel pretty strongly that though A&M is probably a notch above what they can be. Now, again, A&M has had a lot of underachieving over the last 50 years. But I think Elko's, if you ask me to rank those 3 coaches, I wouldn't have to think very hard. I feel like Elko's the best of that group. I like what he's done. Now, again, he has to replace Colin Klein, the offensive coordinator, but they still have their quarterback who's a dynamic weapon. And I just feel like he's building something that is very sustainable to be a consistent, playoff team every year or in the running for it.
I thought you would go Elko, but I'm going to ask you this one just because we've talked about both DeBoer and Cignetti. This would have been an insane question last year, even coming off 11 wins the year before. Over the next 3 years, more success, Kalen DeBoer in Alabama or Kirk Cignetti in Indiana?
Ooh, that's tough. I'm going to say Cignetti. I mean, I think right now, no disrespect to Kirby, I think Cignetti's the best coach in college football because he has the control over everything he needs. He has alignment, which is huge. Go ask Mike Norvell how important alignment is. And I think right now he's got a lot of people believing, and that includes the recruits and everybody else who comes in there. I'm not saying they're going to win 2 more national titles in the next 3 years, but I wouldn't be surprised if they won 1 of the next 3 years. And I just feel like with the level of the balance of power, I feel like he's got a lot of stuff figured out, and the way it's operating. And I'm a believer after what they were able to do last year. I mean, they ran through everybody. It was fortunate for Miami that they were as close as they were at the end of the game. But I mean, I think anybody who didn't think they were, I mean, I was at the Rose Bowl, I think, like you guys were. I mean, they just absolutely dominated Alabama. That wasn't even close. And, that's not like a team that was built on 5-star guys or 4-star guys even. It's just they have a real good eye for it, and they have figured out how to work in this framework.
Other than a radio or digital platform host, I'm a day one athletic subscriber. How much fun was the project to go back and look at the 1990s that you guys did?
Yeah, it was very kind of cathartic. It was fun. I mean, I'm probably older than one of you and not as old as the other, but I started covering the sport in the mid to late 90s. So, there's certain guys I remember being really terrific. And it's just once you start, you're trying to back it up with the numbers, I'm like, oh my God, Teddy Bruschi was way better than I thought or remembered. And then you start looking in and saying, oh, maybe this guy wasn't quite as great as I remembered. And here's make of it what you will. I mean, I don't think anybody would look and go, oh, how Peyton Manning compared to Danny Werfel. Well, Danny Werfel's teams beat Peyton Manning's teams 3 times when they played, and Peyton's teams never won. Right now, you could argue that Danny Werfel had a better system around him and certainly better talent, but still, it's like when you get into those arguments and decisions, and it was just kind of a fun project to work on. Best 25. I don't think you can ever be totally right, and people are always going to have a good argument, but it's hard to keep that thing to only 25 people.
What's the closest college football atmosphere you saw to Azteca Stadium last night with Mexico and England?
Oh, that's a good question. I think you guys might have been there at the same time I was. It was Cam Newton going into, and them playing, what was the
Cam
Miller song, Take the Money and Run?
Yeah, Take the Money and Run, 2010.
That felt kind of, I don't want to say, there's obviously differences to it, but that was a rare, you've been in buildings where the rivalry is hostile as can be and everything. I just felt like that was next level with Cam. I want to say it was Thanksgiving weekend. I think I went down there on a Friday. I think that's what it was. I just remembered, because Cam was kind of like Superman. That team did not, I don't think they had it to the same degree. Obviously, Harry Kane is a kind of already a legendary name, but it was fun to watch. It was just really, really, I mean, a lot of these games, I'm not outside of my kid playing club soccer for a few years, I'm not really I don't know much about soccer. I know a little more than I used to, which isn't much. And, but I just feel like the games and the drama have been, so riveting. I mean, it's been really awesome to see, especially at a time of year where we're just waiting for football season to start.
I would have said Saban's first trip to Baton Rouge as the Alabama coach. They were burning him in effigy. That was pretty bad. But
2011 was pretty crazy when LSU came to Tuscaloosa.
That was the game of the century. Was crazy. But we're expecting it to be week 3 Kiffin in Oxford. We're expecting it to be that this year. My big takeaway, Bruce, of this whole interview is that you don't think I look 28 anymore. That's my whole takeaway.
No, but none of us do. I mean, that's probably as good as Ryan's going to look over there. So, but there's wisdom in that.
This is the first time Bruce has ever joined us video wise, and now I'm thinking Bruce thought I was much younger on radio than I'm on this platform.
He's just, hey man, we all age fast.
Yeah,
it comes for us.
Yeah. All right, Bruce,
Yeah,
man.
no matter who you are, it comes. It's like you're either going to get fat and bald, or if you still got your hair, it's probably going to go gray. And I mean, the thing is, there's definitely times where you look in the mirror and go, man, I just can't believe I had the nerve to go talk to women looking like
this. Bruce Feldman, man, The Athletic. I tell you all the time, go subscribe. It's the best amount of money I spend on any subscription anywhere. We appreciate your time, and thanks for joining us. We'll catch up soon, maybe at SEC Media Days.
Always a pleasure, guys. Thanks for having me.
Bruce Feldman there with us on the Alexander Shannara Trial Attorney Hotline. The show today also being brought to you by our friends at New York Butcher Shop. I got one of those Boston butts, man.
How was it?
It was a big hit. I got a text from my daughter's boyfriend this morning, man. That Boston butt was so good.
I am not making this up. So obviously they're closed on Sunday to give all those butchers their rest. So I didn't get in until late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. First thing I'm doing later today is picking up steaks from the New York Butcher Shop because I was a week off from that. Rare quality, well-done service. Fantastic food from the fresh meats, specialty items. They've got catering options. If you're out there, you want to take care of somebody, our man Jim and the New York Butcher Shop, they can help out with that. Fantastic selection of fine wines and desserts as well. 2 locations, the original Cabo Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone. Again, rare quality, well-done service. It's the New York Butcher Shop.
And our friends at Way to Wellness. Maggie's not doing Way to Wellness any favors. I'll tell you why in a second. But you can maintain your weight loss or jumpstart your weight loss and lose the weight you want at Way to Wellness, aplanforme.com. Planforme.com. Go by there and check out everything they offer you, from injection therapy to meal replacements and a variety of ways to lose weight or maintain your weight loss or control some vital numbers like cholesterol. They can help you with your diet there as well. If you're diabetic, they've got great eating plans for you there as well. Planforme.com. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is absolutely free. You were traveling, but Maggie, now that she's not in school, she decided, big meals all weekend long. We did banana nut bread, which I can't stop eating it. I may have eaten the whole loaf. I don't know how you guys are. You a big fan?
Are you talking about the ones from the New York Butcher Shop?
She made some, but the
I'm
one
a
from
huge
New York
fan.
Butcher is huge.
I try not to get it anymore because I can eat the whole loaf.
I can eat the whole loaf
Yeah.
too. Like there's something about that makes you want to go back and get more.
Yeah, delicious.
It's delicious. So she made one of those, and I literally think I ate the whole thing. She made cookies left and right, just nonstop cookie making all week. So at the pool, we had a dinner, watching the World Cup, cookies everywhere. And then yesterday, when my son, it was his chance to finally celebrate the 4th because he was working, and my daughter and boyfriend came over, she got out the old school ice cream making machine and made the old school ice cream.
Such a pain in the ass.
It is. But she made the ice cream, and it came out like it was soft serve. It didn't firm up like she wanted it to, but it was really sweet and good. It was delicious. But she didn't want to eat it because it was so soft. And I was like, are you kidding me? This is perfect. And I probably ate half of the whole big canister she made of that. It was an unbelievable food weekend. So it was just good. Good food on the islands?
It was hit or miss.
Seafood?
Yeah, we went to this Mexican joint that was awful because we were looking for a TV. So you kind of, and I'm not a big seafood guy.
Right.
I had a little bit of shrimp over there. Jack loves shrimp. He thought it was great. Had a really cool place. It was called Catch 21, and it was outside of a casino, upper outside. They had 765s and 765s. So, yeah, 14 TVs right there.
Okay.
And they were the guys that anybody that would score a goal, they're running around giving shots to everybody.
Oh, giving shots.
Oh, yeah. Giving shots.
Oh, so for free.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
On any score. It almost went to PKs on the game we were watching. I forgot which one it was.
They do PK shots?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, crap.
Yeah. So I thought it was trending in that direction. I'm like, oh, my God, this is going to be a disaster. And it was funny because Maddie was like, I'm not drinking. I'm driving tonight. And the guy said, tell me if there's any liability in this. Hey, there is no way you get pulled over unless you hit someone. Just pushing people to drink on the island.
Yeah.
But yeah, the food was okay. I mean, it's not what we have here in America.
Island food. I get it.
Yeah.
We got another half of the show to go. In the back half of this hour, Bruce Feldman on our Shannara hotline. We appreciate him so much. We've done our 40 and 40. We'll answer the question that Bruce was hinting at, where Alabama will start in the AP poll. We won't tell you where they are in your vote, the 40 and 40, but we'll tell you where we think they'll end up on the AP poll when we come back, and some more college football. But our video of the day, brought to you by our friends at Odie's, is a little celebration of 250 years with Giants quarterback Jackson Dart. And Forrester gave me this video earlier. I think Dart's the one in the hat. He's obviously the one that throws the pass here. So he's in the cowboy hat. His friend, I don't know who that is, jumps off into the water.
It looked a little shallow to be doing that. But
yep. And then Dart throws that BB on that's caught out there. Great pass by Dart. Now here goes Jackson over the edge and into the water. Now, if you're a Giants fan, you're just thinking worst case scenario, aren't you?
Well, I just remember a buddy of ours from the Floribama did the backflip off the boat, not even at that height, and didn't realize how shallow it was and completely shattered the knee. So if you're a Giants fan, you really don't want to see that with Jackson Dart, but that is quite the dime that he dropped there.
Yeah.
Where is that, Havasu?
I was about to ask, where is that?
It looks like Havasu. It's like on one of the back ends of Havasu, away from all the clutter.
Yeah.
But I've never been to Havasu. I've been past it.
Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful their location. And Buddy does a backflip. Then he gets on that jet ski, or somebody's already on the jet ski, I guess.
I don't think this was first take.
You don't?
Nah.
Well, the ball didn't look wet. Maybe they got multiple balls.
I don't know. It's a lot of work for first take, but if they got it on first take, that's great.
Yeah. Anyway, that's our video of the day, brought to you by our friends at Odie's, a great lunch and dinner location, live music and trivia.
Yep, live music every Friday and Saturday night, trivia every Wednesday night, incredible food every day from Rodney Davis. 2 locations, the original location in Crestline, newer location right there on Broadway in Edgewood. Stop in, see Will Haver and that great staff. Birmingham Institution, it's Odie's Tavern.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
You know, sometimes injury attorneys get a bad rep, being called ambulance chasers, showing up to the accident scene before the EMTs get there. At Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys, this ain't that. We get enough cardio. No need to chase ambulances. Look, if you're injured in any type of accident, don't accept a dime from the insurance company. Hit up the gators of the litigation situation. Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Call 659-777-7777 or AlexWins.law.
Call me, Alabama. Physical office location, Birmingham.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Never miss anything from the Next Round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you catch every part of the Next Round. Listen anywhere in the world at any time on the Next Round podcast feed and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Thanks for always making the Next Round a big part of your day.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Hey, before LT tells us about our friends at Hemp Hill again, I want to bring up that we are going to be watching the Americans tonight. You can get by and watch it with our friends at Walk-Ons if you want to. It's a great place out in Trussville. Of course, at Stadium Trace and down Highway 280, Tattersall Park. That's where we usually go and watch the games. Great TV set up there. And, of course, we're raising money for our friends Folds of Honor of Alabama all month long, the entire month of July. You get the opportunity to go by there and enjoy $2 bottled beer, Budweiser Bud Lights, and $3 draft of the Bud and Bud Lights. That's all month long, not just when we're there, not just when the games are on. That's 11 to when they close, 11 a.m. to when they close. You get the $2 bottles, $3 draft, and it all helps out Folds of Honor of Alabama. All the money stays here, and use the QR code that's on every table and at the bar there to make a bigger donation to Folds of Honor Alabama. We appreciate you guys so much. And our friends at Hemp Hill Services.
Yeah, 205-229-2090. It's hot out there. Last week I hear was crazy around here. Was it 95 last week?
We got to 97 with a heat index of 107 one day I was playing golf.
So that AC is working extra hard. You want to make sure it's serviced properly. If it does go down, never ideal, but at least you've got the name Birmingham has trusted since 1954 behind you with our friends at Hemp Hill Services. 205-229-2090. Whether you experience plumbing, heating, or cooling issues, home or business, hard to stop a train. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
While you were gone, Tennessee became an ADIDAS school again. They left Nike. They're back with ADIDAS now, and that has all the Tennessee fans fired up because the last time they were with ADIDAS was in the 90s when things were good. They were winning football games, and their uniforms looked clean and sharp. Back to the old clean and sharp uniforms of the 90s. Here's the ADIDAS look for Tennessee, basically looking the way Tennessee should look. Bigger numbers, those bold numbers from the 90s. Just a nice, clean, sharp uniform for the Tennessee Vols.
I agree. I've always been a fan of the Tennessee. I think there's a lot of people that hate the color orange around here just because it is Tennessee, and orange is one of those, obviously, jump-out colors, but I've always thought their uniforms were great. Adidas is an interesting choice. I think the kids probably lean more Nike. But, yeah, I mean, I remember 1998, that special run from Phil Fulmer and T. Martin, or I guess it ended up being 90. Was it the 99 Fiesta Bowl that they actually were in against Florida State.
Right.
But the 98 championship.
The 98 season, yeah, that first ever BCS. Forrester, you put up some details here. Give me Forrester's mic. What are some details here?
It says the most prominent alteration made to the uniform is the number font.
Yeah. That was the first thing I noticed. It looked like the Peyton Manning uniforms again. They changed the numbers over the years.
Yeah, they did look bigger. The font really didn't jump out to me, but they look bigger.
Yeah. I just remember that's the way the 16 looked for Peyton Manning. It looked like that.
The only thing I didn't like, and I know it was part of the tradition, was the checkerboard end zones. And I never knew why they went to the smoky grays or the black uniforms.
Right. Me either. It should be that.
And the whites are great too.
The whites are great, and I like orange pants sometimes. They sometimes do the all orange or the white tops or the orange bottoms.
Yeah, I don't mind that. The white
I don't hate the
look.
black uniforms, but the smoke are awful.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was a hokey time for them. Obviously, they weren't winning a lot of games, so hopefully they'll get back to this tradition.
Yeah.
I don't know where we are. I asked Feldman that question, and I don't know where you feel. I agree with him. I would go Elko of those three programs, but both Venables, Elko, and Heupel all have one playoff appearance. It seems like Tennessee is just kind of stuck in mud right now. I don't know what to think about Oklahoma if they can ever get a semblance of an offense. I think they're going to be really good, and maybe that is this year, in year 2 under Arbuckle with Mateer. But it just seems like A&M, with their resources, they finally have their coach.
It's funny that we paint Tennessee that way, but it was just 2 years ago they were in the first ever 12-team playoff.
You can't fall out. I mean, really, people are like, you're forgotten once you fall out of this 12-team playoff.
But they lost their quarterback that they were counting on late, and then they missed it last year. But we'll find them in our 40 and 40 at some point, but I don't know how high they'll be. But it does feel like A&M in the playoffs last year. A lot of that team back this year, and number one in the country in recruiting and spending and all of that. It does feel like they're poised to do the big spending maybe better than they did it under Jimbo Fisher. So I would agree with Furman. I would go with Elko.
I don't know, if we specifically have gotten into this at all, but like how different would the record have been last year with Nico? Like I didn't think Nico, I mean, it wasn't like Aguilar was good. That is a very good system for quarterbacks, and you can put up big numbers there. But how different would it have been?
Well,
I mean, they lost in overtime to Georgia.
Reluctant runner.
But I thought Aguilar played really well in that game.
Yeah, reluctant runner. Apparently the RPOs didn't work great with Aguilar because he always chose the pass part of the RPO and not the run part. And that if Nico would have run the ball a little bit more, if Nico was there and they'd ran it a little bit more, maybe that would have freed up some of the run game.
Well, and maybe against Alabama, it's a touchdown pass or one of those RPOs where, actually Nico's able to get in and before half instead of throwing the pick six, which flipped that game. But, Vanderbilt ran them off the field.
Yeah, not even close, no matter whether you're running or passing with that one. Okay, if I asked you Alabama right now, top 10, not top 10, where do you think they slot when the first official AP poll comes out about 1 month from right now?
I can't say this, but you can book it up. There's no chance they're top 10. Zero chance.
Josh Pate had them 11 in his projecting of the AP poll.
Yeah, I think they're going to be more 15 to 17. I think this will be
15 to 17.
15 to 17.
I had them in an 11 to 13 window, but you got them 15 to 17.
I think 15 to 17 is where they're going to be. Now, you look at it, they finished 9th last year with 11 wins, but I don't hear anybody talking about Alabama back to a college football playoff. And I do believe 2008, Saban's second season, I think they were 20th preseason. I think they won't be that low, but this will be the lowest they have been since 2008.
That'll be interesting to see where the AP voters have them nationally. 15 to 17 would be eye-opening.
I think we'll have them, and not to give anything away, around top 10, but we're always going to have them a little inflated because a good majority of our voters are Alabama fans.
Yeah.
But I just think when you get to the AP, I don't think people mind Alabama struggling. And when I say struggling, 11-4 last year, and where the perception is with Kalen DeBoer, and look, you just heard Bruce Feldman say it's not as bad nationally, it is maybe locally, but I still think AP voters will have them much further down than they've been in the past.
It's time for our 4 downs today, brought to you by our friends at Central Alabama Asphalt. I'll tell you about Central Alabama Asphalt after we do 4 downs, but basically all their great paving projects that you see going on in the state of Alabama, a lot of times you see them on the roadways. That's our friends at Central Alabama Asphalt. You can call the number 205-349-0910, centralalabamaasphalt.com. Tyler, if you would you come in here and look on Brown's table over there and hand me the sheet that says Central Alabama Asphalt? Probably would need that one at some point. But they do parking pads and all the work you have on your land as well with our friends at Central Alabama Asphalt, centralalabamaasphalt.com. I'll tell you more about them after we do our 4 downs that Lance has for us now, starting with first down.
So more wins. We were talking about the Nebraska Cornhuskers. More wins this year, Nebraska or Matt Rule's former NFL team, the Carolina Panthers?
Ooh. I mean, they're in the division that basically has you 8-9, 9-8. And I think that's where Carolina will be. After seeing the Nebraska schedule, I'm going to say the Panthers have more wins. You disagree?
I don't disagree. I think Nebraska, sadly, is going to be right around 6. And, I think anything can happen in the NFC South right now. But I would lean, based on the Panther team I saw last year, that they win more than that.
Yeah. I mean, if I put Nebraska at 7, which seems to be the ceiling for me after looking at that schedule, then I could easily see Carolina 7-10 and tying them. So 8-9, I'm going to go Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, if Nebraska gets more wins than Carolina, they should be in a pretty good spot this year because I think Carolina's 8 or 9 wins. Again, I don't see that happening, but we shall see.
Let's do second down.
Second down.
50 Cent, 51 years old today. If I asked you ultimately better career, 50 Cent or A.J. DeBonsa?
Where did DeBonsa go to?
DeBonsa went number 1 overall to the Wizards.
Ugh.
Yeah, and you got to factor that in.
Yeah.
Because when's the last time you saw the Wizards have any success?
Yeah, so he's going to have, what's the minimum he'll has to stay there 4 years?
Yeah, so he's got Trae Young, though, who re-signed with him. That's a really good piece. And you've got Anthony Davis if you can stay healthy. But with all that said, 50 Cent, too much meat on the bone, was so good in his prime, basically tapped out, wanted to start doing film, and then got the vitamin water money.
Yeah.
I'm still going to go 50 Cent.
I would too.
I don't feel great about it because DeBonsa is one of these guys that could easily be an Anthony Edwards. Didn't have a lot of success as far as wins in college basketball. Now, he did put up a ton of points, but he is made for the NBA, though.
But it does seem like if he does it, he's going to have to do it somewhere else.
Yeah,
or it won't be in Washington.
Yeah, because as good as, at times, John Wall and Bradley Beal were together, they got nothing accomplished there.
That's right. I mean, it's been forever since that franchise did anything consistently good.
I can't remember them making it out of the second round in the last 20 years.
Yeah, me either.
Third down.
Since they became the Wizards, I don't remember them being a championship contender at all.
Kevin Hart, 47 years old today. If I asked you which Kevin has the better career ultimately, Kevin Hart or Kevin Durant?
I mean, it's easy money-wise already, right, Kevin Hart?
I think it's probably pretty close.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, I would think that Durant has made $500 million in his career. Kevin Hart's got money that we probably don't even know about. Durant probably does too. I think both are probably trending to maybe end up being billionaires. I would say Hart's probably got a little more money, but I think it's close.
Kevin Durant holds the record for highest career earnings in NBA history with a total of $598.2 million.
Okay, where are we on Kevin Hart?
Kevin Hart has a higher net worth according to the bot. Kevin Hart's net worth is estimated between $450 and $480 million, while Durant's net worth is estimated at $300 million.
So let's call the money close.
It is close.
Durant whines and bitches. He's more talented than Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
You would agree with that, right?
I would agree with that, but I like Kevin Hart.
He's a nice guy. We've had him in studio now. We haven't had him in studio in 15 years, but we used to have him in studio. We had him in 2 or 3 times, and super nice guy. I just don't think he's very funny.
Yeah.
Movies are terrible.
I'm going to say Kevin Hart ends up with a better career. Durant's only championship with Golden State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the problem. And you look at, some of the teams he's played. I mean, you go back to Oklahoma City. a team that was in the finals and how good that roster was. Better career. I mean, Durant's more talented. I'm going to go Kevin Hart. Don't
Kevin
feel
Hart
great about it.
4th down.
Sylvester Stallone, 80 years old today. Hard to believe the Tulsa King's 80 years old. But if I ask you, favorite Sylvester...
Hard to believe Sylvester Stallone is called the Tulsa King now and not Rocky.
Well, no, I'm just talking about because you watch him more recently in the Tulsa King and you look at him, he just doesn't look 80.
No.
He I don't know. I'm a Stallone fan, but if I ask you your favorite Stallone movie.
Well, I mean, other than Rocky, the original, or the one when they fought the Soviets, I enjoyed the first Rambo because I saw it in theaters.
First Blood.
Was that what it was called?
Yeah, he was just trying to walk through the town.
Yeah. Oh, was that the?
With Brian Dennehy, where he's a drifter.
Where's the one where he's in the water?
No, that's number 2. Yeah, not
and he
nearly
comes out
as
of
good
the water.
I think that's just called First Blood Part 2.
Maybe
he's in Vietnam, where he's just above the water. That was a great scene.
I liked Copland. Like a lot of people probably haven't seen it. Great ensemble cast for the 90s. Death Race 3000 or Death Race 2000. Death Race 3000. Underrated with David Carradine.
Wow.
Where they drive around and just run people over and get points for it. Have you seen it, Tyler?
Yeah. So it's basically Grand Theft Auto?
Basically, yeah. It's just a big race they do. They remade it with Joan Allen. I never saw the remake. I think Jason Statham was in it.
That's our 4 downs today, brought to you by our friends at Central Alabama Asphalt. At Central Alabama Asphalt, they do so many things for you. If you're looking for asphalt work done right the first time, call Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction. Based in Tuscaloosa, they're a full-service asphalt contractor trusted on major state government and municipal roadway projects across Central Alabama. But they'll take care of anything on your property as well. Central Alabama Asphalt is client-oriented, quality-focused, and built to deliver. For estimates, they'll give you an estimate or opportunities. Call them at 205-349-0910, 205-349-0910, or centralalabamaasphalt.com, paving that you can trust, according to Brown's writing right there. Central Alabama Asphalt, wonderful folks there, and they'll take care of those parking pads and anything. If you got a farm, a lake house, a new driveway, they'll do it all for you right there. Central Alabama Asphalt. God, what was it I saw over the weekend? They were comparing something to Wonderland. Something I saw in sports to Wonderland, the movie. What was Wonderland the movie? Maybe that'll help jar my experience.
John Holmes?
What was it Wonderland the movie about?
So Wonderland the movie was about the robbery. Like John Holmes gets in debt to a local drug dealer. Like if you saw Boogie Nights, they did kind of a spoof of it.
Okay.
But Wonderland was the Wonderland murders, where I think 3 or 4 people were beaten to death.
It was The Athletic. They said Terrion Arnold, as I was reading the article about Terrion Arnold, they said this is a better script when it all comes out than Wonderland was.
Well, nobody died, thank God.
Yeah.
I don't know how it gets that sensational, because they talk about the crime scene where people were beaten with pipes.
Right.
And like they think they made John Holmes beat one of the victims to death. I mean, the Wonderland murders are crazy. There's a really good documentary on it. The movie with Val Kilmer was okay. But I don't know how it rises to that. I mean, obviously,
that was the
Detroit
comparison.
Lions,
That was the comparison they used, was Wonderland. Ripped off the pages like Wonderland for the Terrion Arnold thing. It's what caught me to read the story.
Did I miss anything? Like, I know he got cut, and we kind of assumed that was coming.
And he got bail.
But were there other, like, details of anybody, like, physically being harmed?
No, not anymore that had come out, them being held.
And you would think that you would hear that. Like, if somebody was, beaten, tortured.
Yeah. Did any of them not get punched originally when they were detaining them?
They probably had to,
them,
but you just wondered to what level.
Yeah. No more details.
I can't believe they compared it to that, though.
Yeah. That's what got me to click on it. It was, let me see if I can find it real quick. It was when I was preparing for Bruce Feldman.
So I'm sure you guys talked about it in detail. I mean, is the assumption Terrion is done?
I would think he's done in the NFL, yes.
Yeah, and it's really, really sad. I know he struggled. You wonder if he had a first 2 really, really good years in the league, if Detroit at least stays with him until this thing plays out.
Matt Baker writes the story with reporting with Adam Kilgore and Melanie Gutierrez. So they have 3 reporters on it from The Athletic. How did former first-round pick Terrion Arnold end up in a Tampa jail facing the possibility of a lifetime sentence? A look inside what happened that chaotic weekend. And then Feldman, who was on the show, this wild story is like an NFL version of the movie Wonderland. Must read. Great reporting.
Wow.
So I look forward to reading the entire thing later today. So hopefully Terrion is not life in prison. Hopefully either gets exonerated or something a little shorter than that. But it's hard to picture him back in the NFL.
Yeah, this was just 4 unsolved still murders that occurred in L.A. July 1st of 1981.
Also, a thing they were working on at The Athletic was the greatest NFL team every decade. 60s easy Packers, 70s easy with the Steelers. 80s would have been for you who?
49ers.
49ers. I would agree with that. 90s. Do you go Cowboys early on?
Yeah, Cowboys are going to be 90s.
Okay, so now we're to this century. When you go 2000, and then 2010 to 2019, and then so far this century. So 3 decades. Where do you go?
I think you still got to go Patriots. Yeah. I mean, look, they were just in the Super Bowl, and that was probably the worst version of the Patriots we've seen. I mean, I think you could look at the Chiefs, right?
Right.
I mean, the Eagles have won multiple Super Bowls. I don't know how you would go away, though, from, well, I mean, the Chiefs or the Patriots.
So 2000 to 2009, who is it for you? That's Patriots.
Yep.
2010 to 19.
Probably Patriots.
And now in this decade.
The Chiefs.
What does the Rams have to do to get there?
Probably win 2 more. Don't see that happening. There's going to be so much pressure on that team. I just saw, somebody just released the best rosters in the NFL, and of course they've got the Rams at number 1, and there was speculation over the weekend, and I don't know if you saw this with Aaron Donald, again, teasing some social media.
He's flaming the flames, for sure.
Like, I'd love to see him come back, but at the same time, a little skeptical because you want him to be as good as he was, and after 2 years of hiatus, that's going to be nearly impossible. But, man, the pressure on that team is going to be tremendous. I'm more fascinated not only how they handle the pressure, got to be able to stay healthy, which they did last year, but where is Kansas City coming into this year?
Well, they get Kenneth Walker. Does that help?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I like that. They got a little help in the defensive front, but lost a little in the secondary.
You lost both your cornerbacks.
Yeah, lost a lot in the secondary.
And where are you on
tight end?
Where are you on Mahomes? He's coming off an injury.
Yep.
Hasn't been as good, and we know when somebody loses their mobility, when you rely on it as much as Pat Mahomes does, and his ability to improvise, that becomes a problem.
Just in that division, though, right? Chargers, Broncos.
Oh, yeah. That division has gotten brutal overnight. And the Raiders, they've got to get better.
Yeah, that's what makes it tough. You nailed it, by the way, all the way through. The 2020 so far, the Chiefs, 4 Super Bowls, 3 championships. Pretty easy.
Yeah, it's hard to beat.
Patriots in the 2010s, 125 wins, 8 consecutive AFC championship game appearances, and 3 Super Bowls.
That's dominant.
Early 2000s, Brady Belichick era started, 112 total wins, 3 Super Bowl championships. Pretty dominant. Cowboys, 3 Super Bowl championships. And then in the 80s, San Francisco with Montana and their offense.
You never really can compare the NFL and college football, but what the Patriots did with the Belichick and Brady marriage is almost what Cignetti's doing in Indiana. Because I don't know how you felt, but I just remember that they came out of those playoffs after Drew Bledsoe went down in the regular season, and I didn't think they had any chance to advance. They continued to advance. They beat Pittsburgh on their home field, then they beat the Rams as a 2-touchdown underdog, and then it just kind of takes off. And they do it with, it seemed like less talent year in, year out, but everybody bought into the Belichick way. You had a special talent at quarterback. When you just laid out rosters, it didn't seem like the Patriots had the best roster on any of those years.
Yeah, every year. It never seemed that way. For those that are interested, Steelers in the 70s, Packers in the 60s, the Cleveland Browns in the 1950s, the Chicago Bears in the 1940s, the Green Bay Packers again in the 30s, and in the 1920s, the first 1920s, not the 20s we're in now, the 2020s, The Canton Bulldogs, unbeaten in 22 and 23.
Never got to see them play.
Never got to see them play. Don't even know what their uniforms
I
look like.
haven't even seen a Canton Bulldog T-shirt.
Maybe we should make those. Probably still licensed by the NFL. Top of the hour, one more hour to go here, including some more NFL talk and a little bit more college football to get to. Maybe some upsets that we'll take a look at college football. The show today being brought to you by our wonderful friends at Bud Light. It's easy to drink. It's easy to enjoy. And don't forget to get out to Walk-Ons and enjoy the great $2 bottled beer from Budweiser and Bud Light and $3 drafts at Walk-Ons all month long, the entire month of July. All 3 Birmingham, Central Alabama locations of Walk-Ons benefiting Folds of Honor, Alabama.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Dump trucks, delivery vans, tankers, 18-wheelers, 35 types of commercial vehicles share the road with you every day. When one hits you, trust me, the company's lawyers are already moving. You should be too. Over $2 billion recovered. Alexander Schnarr trial attorneys are ready to fight for you. Call 659-777-7777 or visit alexwins.law for your free case evaluation. Don't wait. Alexander Schnarr trial attorneys. 659-777-7777. alexwins.law. Physical offices, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Next round shirts, next round hoodies, and next round hats all in one place, nextround.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know, you might be in one of our videos showing next round gear being worn all over the world. Find all of your favorite next round gear by visiting nextround.store. Place an order for you and that big next round fan in your life at nextround.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing next round gear from nextround.store.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Final hour of the show always brought to you by Champy's world famous fried chicken right there on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Be honest, you're tired of the pork, you're tired of the ribs. You want to go by right now and try some great fried chicken to cleanse that palate, get back to that great Southern eating. Do it today for lunch or dinner. Get some on the way home tonight. Highway 119 in Alabaster. Sterling is there waiting on you. Hand-cut chicken fingers, in-house made sides and desserts, and those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. Absolutely delicious. It's Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. We will get to our spotlight in just a second. But the wedding happened. Taylor and Travis got married at Madison Square Garden. You never thought it would happen.
Well, I mean, it almost seems like a gimmick. I mean, did Adam Sandler really officiate the wedding?
He did. He did.
I mean, what is the point of that? What is the point of having a wedding at Madison Square Garden? What is the point of doing it on the 4th of July weekend?
Well, the July 3rd, if you go 7-3, there was something else that got to 13. The date and this
New
and that.
conspiracy theory. None of this ever happened.
Yeah, but there's all of it worked out that she had it planned. They met on this date.
I mean, to each their own. I thought the whole thing is very, very strange.
Well, apparently, the arena, you couldn't even tell you were inside Madison Square Garden. That many flowers, that many drapes. You couldn't even tell you were in a basketball
But is that not
arena.
the weirdest venue for a high profile wedding ever? Because normally you want privacy and you invite people to a private island, and I mean they've got more money than.
Yeah, well, they donated going into the weekend. They donated $26 million to charity, which was crazy. I think $2 million went to Dolly Parton's reading programs, and an undisclosed amount went to Brad Paisley's feeding hungry people in Central Tennessee and helping in housings and something in Cincinnati, in that area of where the Kelces are from,
to see the prenup.
I was going to ask, do you think there's a prenup?
I saw a report that said it was a 40-page prenup.
Yeah, it probably is. I would not be surprised at all. She had to make him sign a prenup.
Yeah, it's $2 billion on her side, $80 million on his is what I saw the network was.
I mean,
and there was a castle in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, she puts on elaborate shows, so you knew her wedding was going to be. Now, what's crazy, I haven't seen photos from inside yet. So I don't know if people were just, held to a higher, the people that got invited. I mean, it was over 1,000 people.
I imagine they had the phone pouches they have at concerts, and then there was a documentary crew or something walking around filming, and then it'll be a big event for either a streaming service or another theatrical release like she did with her Eras Tour.
Yeah.
movie.
Now, I know you always bet on love, but if I went through the 16 current coaches in the SEC, who makes it longer, their marriage or that coach?
Okay, because, 50%, is that the odds?
Yeah.
And then now this is celebrities.
It's more difficult.
More difficult.
Yeah.
And
when he retires, it's really going to be difficult.
And he's an athlete, too, so that's a different category. So percentage-wise.
Because I said this, look, and I know you think I bet against love all the time. I'm just a numbers guy. I said when Tom Brady retires, it's going to be a problem with Giselle.
And it was, right?
Yep.
But it was Giselle's problem, right?
I mean, that was the report.
Yeah, that was the report. Yeah. Okay, give me the coaches.
Kalen DeBoer.
The wedding lasts longer than Kalen DeBoer.
I would go DeBoer. Tyler? I would say the average celebrity marriage is probably 3 years.
Yeah.
So you're going to gauge all of this off of 3 years.
Yeah, I don't think they make it to 2030. Okay. I'd be shocked.
I'm saying it goes 7 years.
Okay, well then let's just go. Is Silverfield still at Arkansas in 7 years? That would be incredible.
No.
Goalish at Auburn in 7 years. I mean, based on Auburn's track record,
no,
that seems impossible.
I will say no.
Yeah.
Maybe more than that in a second with Brian Hartline. I'll do it right now. Brian Hartline, this past weekend in his story, on On3 did the story. Brian Hartline said this. there was some success here the last couple of years, but nowhere near where it should be.
Ooh. It is a shot.
Yeah,
I mean,
isn't it?
7 wins, 9 wins is what Golish did. I mean, it was a good, solid job, but I mean, I kind of agree with Hartline. I think Hartline will do a better job there. I still think Golish will be there in my timeline, so I would go Golish over the marriage.
But I'm going by 7 years, and I'm going to say no.
John Summerall.
Yes, that's the first one I say makes it longer than the marriage.
Yeah, I would agree. Kirby, I don't know if Kirby can hang on as long as is your time window. 4 more years, maybe. I'm going to think that one's tight.
Yeah, 7 more years. I mean, he's still a young guy. I'm going to say Smart is still there too.
Will Stein. The problem with Stein is if he has success. Now, we said this about Stoops, and he did have success, and he never left and ultimately got fired, but it took forever for him to get fired.
I'll go Stein is somewhere else with success.
Yeah, I kind of lean with you on that. Lane Kiffin, this one's fascinating because the expectations and, are just going to be through the roof from day one.
I mean, he's never stayed anywhere 7 years.
It's a long time. I mean, really, a coach's year is like dog years.
Yeah. But I will say Kiffin is not there in 7 years.
I will say that Kiffin outlasts him, but it's going to be tight, much like Kirby. Jeff Lebby.
No way.
Yeah, no way. Eli Drinkwitz?
Nope.
Do you think he can hover at 8 wins, or you think they finally get sick of that?
Well, we did I don't know how quick you can pull up the graphic from last week, if you can, of the tiers of the SEC tiers. Some people in the business, we call it a time filler last week. I came up with, and Brooks helped me with this, we had the big screen back in the back, and I gave 16 categories out, and you had to put one logo in each category, and you couldn't duplicate any.
Okay, give me an example of the categories.
National championship contender, SEC championship game, playoff, bubble, NIL riser, NIL faller.
Okay,
Here they go. So Missouri and Brown we rotated doing them. Brown got the first logo. It was Missouri, and the category was stuck in rut. And that's what you're talking about. Always like 8 wins.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is you ask like people that cover college football, and everybody's like, I think Drinkwitz's a pretty good coach. He's okay. And then you ask Missouri fans, and they say the same thing. So like it might be one of those situations where, he does just enough that they kind of overlook, not getting to that next level with 10 wins, although he has won 10 games.
So the way we did it, Brown first, me, alternated back and forth. And at the end, if we had to shuffle, we shuffled.
So this is for this year.
This year, we had Texas to win a national championship. If anybody's going to win it from the SEC, we think it's Texas. We had Georgia making it to the SEC game, Alabama making the playoffs, LSU on the playoff bubble, biggest surprise Florida, biggest disappointment Ole Miss, stuck in the rut was Missouri, turning the corner Mississippi State, NIL riser Texas A&M, NIL slider Tennessee, happy just to go bowling Auburn, 3 years away Kentucky, window closed Vanderbilt, which got a lot of play on social media, surprise firing Oklahoma, which got more on social media. Hottest seat South Carolina, worst team Arkansas.
Well, look, I mean, they're categories. If you got to work something in, it's going to upset somebody. I mean, window closed. I mean, is Pavia that big of a deal? Is it more Clark Lee? We shall see. I probably would have gone with the same with Vanderbilt. Surprise firing. I think you would have to go that direction. Like, I don't know another direction you would go. I mean, Kalen DeBoer got re-upped.
That's right.
I mean, Josh Heupel could be a surprise firing if they went 5-7.
That's what the chat said. They seemed to think that was a possible Heupel there.
I would still be shocked.
Yeah.
So back to it. Levy's not going to make it.
No.
Eli Drinkwitz?
Nope.
I would say no too. Venables?
Nope.
I don't think. Pete Golish?
Pete Golding?
Pete Golding, yeah. I combined them there.
It's okay. I sometimes calls Alec and Alex Golish. I'm going to say no.
And look, as far as biggest disappointment this year, I agree just based on schedule.
That's right.
Like
and
they're
if
going to
make the playoffs, they're going to be disappointed.
See, and I forgot how you do your top 25. try to do mine where I think they're going to be at the end of the year.
Yep.
And like that's why Ole Miss was difficult, because I think they're 7-5 or 6-6. I think they're a talented team, but I think in year one there's going to be a little growth for Pete Golding, and I think the schedule's too difficult. Shane Beamer, no chance. Heupel, I don't think there's a chance. Do you?
I do not. Nope.
Mike Elko, I will say Elko will be there.
I'll go with that, Elko. But doesn't he want the Notre Dame job?
Probably, but that would depend if Marcus Freeman wants to take an NFL job. Sarkisian's interesting.
No.
I'll say no. And then Clark Lee. Clark Lee might make it.
He could.
I think he bought a lot of equity last year.
But when he starts losing again, I think he'll look to leave. I mean, you've got to cash out pretty quick for what you did the last 2 years to get out of Vandy and go somewhere else. So I'll say Summerall, Smart, and Elko on my timeline of 7 years. So we'll last longer than the Kelce.
I'll tell you, man, if they make it 7, that'd be a full decade with dating and everything. That would be surprising.
Yeah.
Again, I don't wish against it. Like Taylor Swift, don't like the Kelce fella.
Be interesting to see, kids. If you have kids, that throws. That adds some time.
Now the difficult thing is for her. Of course, I guess if he retires, he can be Mr. Mom, Michael Keaton.
But he's just coming off of. She's just coming off one of the biggest tours in world history.
But she's one of those that can't sit still.
That's right.
Like, I'm sure the plan is to have a family one day and to have kids, but like picking that time to do it because she always wants to create, she always wants to tour, and it's going to be difficult for her.
Seems like now would be the time.
Probably.
Knock out a couple of kids and then go back on tour afterwards.
Maybe that's the plan. Do you think they'll stream her having the kid?
They'll have a documentary on it. They call it the birth story. Like Love Story. Anyway, big to do this past weekend. It was, the news coverage was crazy.
I just thought
ABC, NBC, CBS had reporters covering the wedding on the outside.
I checked social media a couple of times a day. The only thing I was really watching was World Cup, but I was seeing the things that were popping up, and it was funny because you never can trust any stories. And I saw one where Harrison Butker, the kicker, was the only guy that wasn't invited off
his teammates.
Yeah, and I was like, holy hell! Like, I know he's got his political beliefs, and maybe they're against that, but like, what a statement you're making by not. And then I find out, it's bullshit. It wasn't real.
Oh, he was invited?
Yeah. Oh, well, I don't know if he was invited, but it wasn't. For sure, it wasn't the whole roster was invited, and he wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was too. That's the same post I saw. I was like, God, you invited like the practice squad guys,
but
the kicker didn't get invited.
I thought the weirdest thing was inviting Vrabel and his wife, because I think you put them in an awkward situation, right?
Yeah.
Like almost if Kelce's buddies with Vrabel, and I don't know what the connection there is, it was almost like they wanted the drama. I would almost call him and say, hey, I'm going to let you off the hook because I know your wife probably right now does not want to be in the public eye. And I just thought that was a really weird invite. Again, they might be best friends behind the scenes that I don't know about, but putting Vrabel's wife out there, that had to be really awkward.
Well, apparently that was why she wanted to do it at Madison Square Garden, because she said, I didn't want to have that, we're going to have 300 guests or 500 guests and have to sit here and go, okay, who's in, who's out. So they basically had a venue big enough to where, if I've been friends with you and want you to come to my wedding, we don't have a cutoff. We don't have a play-in game,
But you do, though. Like there had to be somebody on the other side of that cutoff.
Yeah.
We'll probably hear more about fallout of that, but that makes it worse if you don't make the invite. Like if it's really small and intimate and you don't make it, you're like, I kind of understand that.
Like that British talk show host guy that all the celebrities go on, and he's always on my social media. It seems like a fun show. God, I want to say Garrison, but it's not Garrison. He's a British talk show guy.
Is it Graham Norton?
That's who it is, Graham Norton. He got invited. And some guy from BBC Radio got invited.
Well, you just wanted, have they met him one time?
No, I think she always does his show when she's over there. And she lived there for a while. And she always goes on BBC Radio when she's over there, Radio 1. So I guess you become friends with
what
those
pop
people.
stars ended up getting the invite? Any idea?
I know.
She sued Olivia Rodrigo, right?
Well, the Haim sisters were all three bridesmaids, and a couple of the supermodels. Selena Gomez was a bridesmaid, and her friend when she was in high school was the bridesmaids. And then Gracie Abrams was there. I know that. I don't know who all was there. A lot of country music people were there from her country music days. You know, I didn't see Tim McGraw and Faith, but I guess they were there. Because they were
lost in the shuffle, man. Out of sight, out of mind.
Maybe so. She wrote the song, Tim McGraw. It was crazy.
I'll give it 3.5, 4 years.
I go 7+. 7+. But still more than most of the SEC coaches. Let's talk a little pressure on Lane Kiffin from one championship coach. It's our spotlight today, brought to you by Alexander Shinara. Tyler, hit it, man.
The College Football Spotlight.
Alexander Shinara's mission was to create a firm that could handle any issue his community faced. The firm now handles not only personal injury claims, but claims for fire and storm damage, bad drug and device claims, disability, workers' comp, and a host of other claims. If you find yourself in need of a lawyer, call Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. You pay nothing unless they win your case. Shinara.com. The spotlight today is Lane Kiffin. The expectations this year. Urban Meyer on his Triple Option podcast had this to say about LSU fans and Lane Kiffin's expectation of winning a national title this year.
The reason I bring up Lane Kiffin is his national championship or bust, because if it's anything less, he's going to get hammered.
Do you think that's the mantra year one for him? It has to be?
No, I don't, but I'm not a nut job LSU fan. I mean, they're nuts.
I know they are. I feel like he gets like a 2-year cushion, but maybe it's like
no.
No, okay.
I mean, he doesn't have to win it, but he's got to be within a swing of it. I mean, that's one place that I remember I retired. I said, good, I'm never going to go there again. The fans are nuts.
The fans are nuts there from Urban Meyer. I don't think it's a win or else.
I think it is going to be a massive disappointment if they don't make it to a college football playoff this year.
That seems to be the line for me, playoffs or not.
I mean, they've got to win 10 games. They got to get to a college football playoff. I mean, the NIL money's already been insane. I mean, he's basically already talking national championships. And he's coming off an 11-1, the best technically the best season at least I've ever seen in Ole Miss football history. And then Pete Golding takes over in the playoffs, and they make that little bit of a run. So I'm kind of in between what Urban Meyer's saying there. I think they need to get to the college football playoff. They need to win a game and be very competitive. But I mean, there's going to be a lot of pressure, but he's going to get a couple of years for sure.
Trinidad Chambliss, the quarterback Lane Kiffin left behind, was asked by Wilson Alexander of On3 Sports, so which game are you most looking forward this year to? And he said Louisiana State University. He called it Louisiana State University. He didn't call it LSU. And he went into the reasons why, because of Kiffin being there, some former players, and them trying to take everybody else. Here's Chambliss at the Manning Passing Academy on why he thinks Ole Miss can run it back to the playoffs again this year.
What makes you confident that Ole Miss can build on that CFP run, that crazy CFP run from last year? Like, what about this program makes you confident that y'all can do that?
That we got there before, that we have made it, that far. We're turning a lot of other pieces, and we brought more guys in from the transfer portal, and we got some of the same staff that was there last year. And it's just the bought in that a lot of people are having that mindset is like, at Ole Miss, the standard isn't to just make any bowl game. We want to win a national championship, and I feel like everyone there in the facilities is bought into that.
Yeah, that's a tough task. We called them the biggest disappointment last week because anything short of the playoffs is going to be a step back for them.
Well, and I think they're definitely going to be underdogs, I think, in Gainesville, believe it or not, at Texas, Georgia at home, and at Oklahoma. And then you got these swing games. Even Louisville's a swing game. I mean, can you imagine if Pete Golding was to lose week one? That would be terrible.
Well, I mean, Lane Kiffin, too. I mean, do we ever talk about Clemson?
Not enough.
Game?
Now, that's one team I didn't look for in our 40 and 40. I know where I had them or didn't have them.
Yeah.
I just don't think there's any expectations. Like, I mean, they have become kind of the tree in the woods.
Or you're telling me you didn't have them ranked at all?
I did not.
Okay.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy. I mean,
y'all help me in the back. In the past, did we do a graphic of our poll, our rankings, and we unveiled those first, or we saved them at the end? How did we do it in the old days?
Well, this is My first 40 and 40, Jim.
Oh, I know you. I was talking to people that have been here, which is Forrester and LT and me and Tyler. I was trying to remember, did we unveil mine, Brown, and LT's list vote, everybody else's vote first, or did that spoil it? I think we unveiled it first. I think we went on and unveiled ours. So tomorrow, let's unveil Brown's, LT's, and mine.
Okay.
At least. And y'all's too if you want to, but maybe that's too much. But it seems like we always, because we don't want to get, there's no reason for us to keep being a secret of where we put teams.
Yeah, because the audience's vote is what actually determines it.
That's right.
You're just one vote.
That's right.
Out of the 45. So, yeah.
So we'll give you at least Lance and mine tomorrow, the rankings, once we get some graphic support from Brooks, who is tired of me throwing graphics.
You know,
out.
where Clemson is this year, I mean, we all had them in the top 5. I think Forster had them winning the national championship.
I did.
Yeah.
That happened, right?
I mean, we all agreed, like, if there is one Power 4 team that is going to win their conference, it is easily Clemson, and now they're kind of forgotten. So, yeah, that would be a really, really bad loss.
And we're doing the same thing with Miami this year.
Not enough respect for them?
No, just if there's one Power 4 team that's going to win their conference.
Oh,
this
yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Miami's locked in.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's 100% true.
But back to Pete Golding. So, you know, I think Missouri's a coin flip game. I mean, at Vanderbilt, you can make an argument there. At Texas, again, that's probably a loss. Auburn is a coin flip, and Mississippi State probably.
Could easily be 7-5.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine if there's 6-6 or 5-7? No, that could be, I wouldn't think, but if he's 5-7.
I don't know what his buyout looks like.
Yeah.
If that's where you were going with
But anyway,
that.
really difficult schedule for Ole Miss.
So the 40 and 40 is Nebraska today at number 40. We'll get to some more. I assume Clemson is not 39 tomorrow, but we'll unveil the 39th team. That would be a story if it is tomorrow on the show. The show brought to you today in part by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. One more thing to get to before we get to the break.
205-969-8100. That is the number you need to call. If you wear contacts or glasses, you're wasting money each and every year. Speaking from experience, after I got the procedure done, 2015 vision, better than 2020. Make the phone call. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. She's going to hook you up with that hassle-free consultation. Dr. Mort Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
All right. So when you have a recruit that comes on campus, I mean, everybody's taking pictures and stuff. I don't think there's anything surprising here, but Anthony Turner's a 2028 quarterback, and he was visiting Virginia Tech recently, and he posed for a picture. Well, on the screen behind them was future schedules, and Virginia Tech, it leaks out, next year's out-of-conference games are the Citadel, Liberty, and Notre Dame. It was on the screen right there at the top, over the shoulder of that guy right there. So not announced yet, but, I mean, Notre Dame's part of the ACC scheduling for Virginia Tech. So no surprise that they're going to play Notre Dame on and off again. And you know Virginia. November 6th is the Notre Dame game. So if you're booking ahead in South Bend for Virginia Tech fans.
I think I would have gone a little lighter than Liberty if I was James Franklin, just because of the resources they got. You never know where Liberty's going to be. I mean, they've got we've seen them win double digits multiple times in the past. I mean, unfortunate for James Franklin, he's got Notre Dame. If I'm Franklin, I am trying to schedule as light as possible.
Especially in these 2 years with no buys. No bye this year, no bye next, no double bye, I should say, this year and next year. Everybody's just got one bye, unless you're one of those week 0 teams, and then you get to squeeze another one in. This is just the way the calendar has fallen. All right, trash when we come back, and a little bit more talk about the Americans playing soccer tonight. The show being brought to you by our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Great place, guys, to stay on your top of your health, from prostate health to kidney stones and everything in between. Urology Centers of Alabama, 205-930-0920. UrologyCentersAlabama.com. 70 years of compassionate care, 10 great locations here in Central Alabama. They take care of men and women, all of your urological needs. That includes hormone therapy for you guys. Testosterone, as you get older, could be a little bit of a problem. They can help you with that. Again, make an appointment, 205-930-0920 or UrologyCentersAlabama.com.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
When a motorcycle accident turns your world upside down, who's going to look out for your family while you're healing? Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys is here for you, fighting for injured riders and getting families the compensation they deserve. The consultation is free. They don't get paid until you do. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys. Call 659-777-7777 or visit alexwins.law. Don't wait. Call 659-777-7777. alexwins.law. Physical office, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice: Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, turn on automatic download so you can catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed. Thanks for always making the next round a big part of your day.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you: Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing. Final segment of the show being brought to you today by the great folks at Crane U. Before LT tells you about Crane U, we're 55 days away from college football, but more World Cup tonight. Boss is the maker, B-O-S-S, Boss. I guess they do menswear only? Or
Hugo Boss, yeah.
They do men, right?
Yeah.
No women. The blue oversized shirt, the overshirt that the coach for Team USA is wearing, sold out early on, and they're almost completely sold out of a reorder of those blue Boss shirts. They can't keep them on the website. People are buying them left and right. I don't look at him and think fashion, but
yeah. Do you think this will be – where will this rank amongst regular season NFL games? It'll blow it away, right? I mean, as massive as those, I mean, this is going to be more like a playoff game, right?
Oh yeah, everybody I talked to is watching it. I can't wait to see. Have we seen last night's numbers yet? Last night was the most expensive sports event in the history of the world, by that stadium size. Relatively speaking, 100.
Well, I talked to our friend at ATEX. I'm trying to help Tyler on tickets to Egypt and Argentina tomorrow. And when they told me those prices, I was like, holy hell, are you kidding? And then Steve Susi from ATEX said, right now, $5,000 to get in for Mexico and England.
That's right. And that's a virtually 100,000 seat stadium at $5,000 get in. And Darren Ravel, you like him or hate him, he called it the most expensive, for that size stadium sporting event ever.
Well, and that's one of the poorer nations. Like, $5,000 is a lot of money for a ticket for anybody. But you just wonder, who could afford that?
Yeah, so I wonder what the ticket's like tonight in Seattle, smaller stadium, and great scene for the U.S. tonight.
Probably, I wouldn't say that much, but I would think a 3,500 get in.
Yeah, that's
probably
what
knocking on the door.
I was thinking about 3,500, but the television ratings tonight I think we'll get into the 30s.
Somebody did ask this on social media: is this the biggest sporting event ever played in the history of Seattle sports? I disagree with that. You had NBA Finals. You have had a NFC Championship game that I was actually at last year. I think it's great that we're all coming together, every 4 years, and this is really, really exciting. But I think if you asked any Seattle fans, I think they would rather have their Seahawks win a championship than Team USA beat Belgium tonight.
Well, I was, I'll go ahead. Let's talk about this now. Tell us about Crane U, because I had a question I would ask you, and then I got one. I'm going to answer the question too about where U.S. winning the World Cup ranks on your wish list. But tell us Crane U first.
Crane U, your all-in-one destination for crane certification success. They guide you through every single step of the process, from the comprehensive prep, both in and out of the classroom, to ensure you're fully equipped for even the toughest exams. Then they're going to streamline your experience by administering both the written and hands-on tests right there at their facility, so you can get certified with confidence and convenience. Inspections, training, certifications, whatever you need, Crane U's got it handled. It's the one call you make, and you are good. For more information, craneu.com. That is craneu.com.
I've been very lucky. I've had 2 Super Bowls for the Buccaneers, countless Alabama football championships in my lifetime. The only thing I think I rank ahead of wanting to see the U.S. win the World Cup is, I lived through the Olympic gold in 1980, is Alabama men's basketball winning a national championship. Alabama men's basketball winning a national championship, and then for me, USA winning the World Cup. I don't think there's another thing on my wish list in sports.
Okay,
I've been so lucky.
Talking about the list that you've already been through, but right now, if I was like, okay, USA can win the World Cup this year, or Kalen DeBoer wins a national championship this year.
I just feel like if Kalen doesn't win it this year, he or somebody at Alabama will win one soon. I don't know. It's every 4 years. I want to see what it would look like. It's been crazy already.
It would be insane. I can't even imagine it at MetLife. If they were to get to the finals, you talk about the most, expensive per capita sporting event ever last night, what that ticket would amount to. I mean, 10,000 get in probably.
See, I keep waiting for us to lose tonight, I keep waiting for us to lose.
It's coin flip every game moving forward. And even if you win tonight, you get the winner is Portugal, Spain. Then more than likely you got to play France. The uphill battle, and I brought this up a couple of weeks ago, much like Auburn getting to their first Final Four, the death row gauntlet they had to go through. That's what the United States is looking at here.
But I feel like we can beat Portugal or Spain. If we can beat Belgium, we can beat Portugal and Spain, in my opinion.
I think the best team is France. I've stuck with that the whole team. I think Morocco, and I said this a couple of weeks ago, that is my dark horse. Now, obviously, they play each other, but I think the winner of France and Morocco is going to win this whole thing. I lean France, but I think Spain's second best team I've seen, or third best.
See, so, if we win tonight and get to 8, that's great. If we got to the Final Four, that'd be amazing.
That would be pretty awesome.
Get to the championship game and have 90 to 110 minutes to, because there's no real time, to try to win the World Cup would be crazy.
That is another problem I've got.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, it's confusing that like normally you count down to zeros.
Yeah.
And everybody knows exactly what's going on. Now we're counting up and you've got subjective time. The offsides needs to go. That's one rule that needs to completely be gone.
Well, then you can just stand behind the defense the whole time.
Yeah, but you're losing a man. So I mean it's equitable. Both sides can do it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to change the quote unquote beautiful game.
No, I think if we win this, we should have a little say so in the rules.
We already have. We're getting Balogun back tonight. We're changing the rules as we go.
Tyler, the offsides is complete horseshit. It is so dumb. Oh my God. So stupid.
What if they just did it like hockey and they just had a line? Ball, ball can't enter this zone unless all your teams outside of the zone.
You see the graphic, like it's minuscule, like the guy's elbow will be passed, and
yeah.
but then you've got subjective. We go 11 plus minutes of extended time. We even went over 11 minutes last night. Like,
yeah. Well, if somebody's pressuring, if somebody's got a little offense going, they can't stop it in mid play.
Lance, that would be like letting a receiver get a head start on the defense and then the quarterback throwing him the ball 20 yards past the defense.
Completely different.
Yeah.
Completely different.
There was a graphic that was floating around. I said this last week, but I'll tell you of why people like me can't play soccer, because I would be offsides if I was facing this way. And they showed the graphic of the VAR,
the gut,
and the gut is over the line, offsides. I'm on sides, but my stomach is breaking the screen, the VAR there.
Yeah, I definitely. Now I'm back on the Lakers bandwagon, big time. Adios, LeBron.
We had that comment in the back room, especially with them signing a local Auburn and Alabama player. I was like, I bet Lance is back on the Lakers now.
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith can eat a bag of dicks. We're going to see these three white guys go out there, and we're going to see what they're able to do. But I'm back on. So I would go Lakers, Rams, USC, then probably this, because I'm like you, especially us being the host country, to see what I can't even imagine it. We got invited to a watch party tonight. The watch parties are just going to get better and better. They win tonight. You got one Friday night. And by the time they got to that final, July 19th in MetLife?
Would be crazy.
Insane. Yeah.
I mean, it's already our friends at Good People and all over the place that are hosting these parties. It's insane to see the celebrations, and that's just in Birmingham. Insane. Jordan Henderson.
Oh, by the way, everybody's pulling against us now. Like everybody probably was to begin with, but now it's even up to level. Like we are the villain.
Jordan Henderson of England last
Bad night.
Celebrating coming back across the advertising screens, slips and fractures his arm. He can still play though, right?
Wait,
you don't use your arms and hands anyway, right?
So how do you get a yellow card, which I thought was so weird, especially with the way the Mexicans were bitching and complaining last night? I know there was one issued on them too, but you get a yellow card without playing and then you break your wrist without playing.
Yeah.
That's a hard combination.
Yeah. He was working the official down the line and then slipped and coming back onto the playing surface after celebrating with the fans. So fractured arm. That's crazy. And then I asked this question on social media. Wonderwall celebration song better than Country Roads? I mean, the Country Road celebration.
I think the Country Road, I like the Wonderwall song better.
Yeah.
Much better than Country Roads, but I don't know. Maybe it's just because.
When we're singing Take Me Home, Mountain Mama, to the Place I Belong, West Virginia, I mean, it's the American team. I feel like we're alienating 49 states and Puerto Rico at that point.
I mean, what's going to be the song? I mean, is it going to be Freebird? We talked about that being the.
I think that would be fantastic. Fantastic.
Would that be a difficult one to belt out in unison, though?
Maybe. We should do some radio edits and shorten these things just to do the chorus, too. Wonderwall was pretty impressive last night with the English fans there in Mexico City. 7 o'clock tonight on Fox. Portugal and Spain, 2 o'clock today on Fox. Winners meet each other in the Elite Eight of this World Cup going on. It is just absolutely so much fun. Tears for Cape Verde when they got home. Cars lined up. Everybody on the island was there to meet them.
That kid was so freaking good, the goalie.
Yeah.
And what an incredible story. What's his count up to, like 17 million on his?
Yeah. And did you see the one kid in the stands? He was crying, as young kids do. He's probably 9 or 10. And then he was doing the heart sign to the players as they were leaving. It turns out his dad played on the team. And his mom's consoling. The dad's crying. The kid's bawling, but he's still patting his dad on the back. Saying, I'm still proud of you, Daddy. I'm proud of you. That kind of stuff. Oh,
that would have been Buster Douglas, Mike Tyson.
What was it, 3-2? that what it was? Extra time?
I mean, when they scored late to make it 2-2, yeah, I mean, because I thought for sure we were going to penalty kicks.
Yep.
And then you never know, especially with the
way the goalie was playing.
Oh, my
for them.
gosh.
Yep. Some more World Cup tonight. We can't wait to talk about the Americans tomorrow, hopefully in a win. If they lose, do you feel like we stop talking about World Cup on the show?
It's going to kill the tournament, I think. I mean, I'm still going to be all in moving forward because, again, my Calcutta, I got Norway and England and Switzerland left, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Well, sneaky Switzerland against Colombia tomorrow. But, yeah, I think around here, around the States, the buzz is got to get past here. I think once you get past this, you make it to Friday night, it's exciting. And anything after Friday night is mayhem.
Champy's Chicken brings you this last hour of the show all the time. If you want to get a good tailgate going and watch the Americans tonight, easy to go at champyschicken.com. Alabaster location just off Highway 119. It's Champy's Chicken. Wonderful folks down there. Sterling and the crew, 11 years at that location, and they take care of you with wonderful chicken that's brined overnight, cooked to order, comes out piping hot, juicy down to the bone, hand-cut chicken fingers, and the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. Champy's Chicken, champyschicken.com. Let's do trash. Hit it, man.
I'm here with the winner, Derek Lewis. Derek, why'd you take your pants off? My balls was hot. I understand.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Our friends at Bud Light. We start first. A cafe in Thailand has become an unexpected hit online thanks to a new menu item whose name alone is enough to stop doom scrolling. Now, the pastry is locally called the Mor Awa Croissant, or the Mor Awa, being Thai slang that loosely translates to pubic hair in English.
Oh, no.
Giving it an eyebrow-raising reputation before anyone has even seen what it looks like. Now, the cafe, the Saiwan Breakhouse, is run by a trained pastry chef who also works as a baking instructor.
What the?
I mean, that is awful. Like, it looks like, between that and a Brillo pad, it does not look like something that is edible. Now, according to Kashad Online, the exact recipe is closely guarded secret, but the distinctive hair-like topping sitting on fresh cream is widely believed to be finely shredded dark seaweed.
That's still a non-starter for me.
Oh,
especially when you start putting the glaze on it.
Yeah, the price point on it's good. It's $2, but take the pubic hair out of it. I'll eat the croissant, but my God, that looks awful.
We've put some weird stuff on before. This might be the single most disgusting thing I've ever looked at on our show.
It is terrible. I mean, getting a hair in the mouth is bad. But
Brooks was telling me you wanted yours with extra glaze.
Oh my God, no.
Watching him eat it from the bottom with just the hair part, that one right there.
I'm surprised he doesn't have dirty fingernails.
Yeah. You guys have been, this is AI generated. This is such a fake. This is not even real.
And he's got Minions glasses on, doesn't he?
It's not even real.
I mean, the texture of that,
awful.
like, I don't even care what it tastes like. The texture of it would just absolutely ruin anything that tasted good about this.
That's a gag bite, right? Like, you bite it, you immediately gag.
Yeah,
can't get that now. A passenger traveling through an airport was found to be carrying 2 live smoke grenades inside of their luggage, including one stuffed inside of a jar of peanut butter. Now, the unusual discovery was made at the Indianapolis International Airport after the passenger's bag flagged by additional screening by TSA when explosive specialist Michael Dunphy and a they initially found 1 live smoke grenade. However, they realized a second device was still unaccounted for. Now, according to TSA, the traveler later claimed that a friend had told him they could get the smoke grenades through screening by hiding them inside of a jar of peanut butter. As you would imagine, the fact that one of them was hidden, it sparked a little concern.
Yeah.
According to the federal security director, Aaron Bate, quote, with the concealment method used, we had a concern about the intentions and as a result quickly incorporated the airport police and airline station manager to ensure we approached the traveler in a cautious and safe manner. Now, after the grenades were found, the passengers were sent back to the ticket counter. Post doesn't mention if they faced any further consequences.
100% they have to.
How would you not?
Yeah, 100% you have to. And secondly, this is like a test run. If we can get this through with peanut butter, then we can get hand grenades.
I know TSA's got a difficult job. Unfortunately, I think there's a lot of things that get through.
Are you telling me you got something through that shouldn't have got through?
No. I'm not going, Claire Danes and Kate Beckinsale and Broke Down Palace? No.
Okay.
Very odd, too. I will tell you, that was another uncomfortable thing. Like, you're sitting there watching back to Argentina and Cape Verde, and our server, who was insane, it was just like everybody's getting effed up. And, we've got teenage boys with us, which they enjoyed being able to sit back and drink some cold beer. But, I mean, the guy was like, hey, strip club, and he's pulling out pictures of women. And I'm just like, my God, dude. I mean, it's a full court press down there.
Yeah.
Mexican mayor has remarried a Cayman as part of the centuries-old tradition believed to bring prosperity to the local community. Now,
what is a Cayman?
Right there. Little bitty small crocodile.
Okay.
Cayman croc. I guess they get bigger than that. But the annual ritual took place in the town of San Pedro on June 30th when the local mayor symbolically married a female Cayman.
When I said I wanted to marry a gator, I was talking about those girls right behind the visiting bench at Florida Field, the swamp.
Now, according to this, ceremony has been held for more than 230 years, represents a union between two indigenous communities rather than a real marriage. Now, ahead of the wedding, the Cayman was dressed in a white bridal gown before being carried through the streets as residents celebrated with music and dancing. Now, while it might look a little bizarre, symbolic wedding is based on centuries-old legend about a marriage between the rulers of two neighboring indigenous communities that brought an end to a long-running conflict. I do think we've got another rivalry going on with the alligators now. I think 2 people were killed over the weekend by alligators.
It's all fun and games until 9 months from now that a pair of alligator boots are birthed out, and all of a sudden we're questioning whether this guy thought it was a real marriage or not.
No bueno. And finally, a thrift store find could now sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Routine treasure hunt at a Goodwill store in January has turned into a find of a lifetime for 19-year-old Quinn Brown. The Portland resident said he discovered a Los Angeles Lakers warm-up jacket and has since been authenticated. What am I looking for?
Now you got me.
Yeah, as the one worn.
Authenticated.
There we go.
No,
authenticated.
You didn't nail it either.
As one worn.
Authenticated.
Authenticated.
As one
Authenticated.
5 times.
By NBA legend Wilt Chamberlain.
That is crazy.
Now, this is one of those, if you saw it, you would just think it was a ripoff, right?
Yes, but that's crazy cool.
And I can't believe he would even get it checked out. Now, the jacket cost him $3.07. Brown said that he had an inkling the jacket may be the real deal. So he posted a photo of it on Instagram. It caught the attention of one of the world's largest auction houses. And before long, the jacket was on its way to New York. They said an NBA Finals jersey sold for $4.9 million. The jacket is currently up for auction with an estimated value of between $150,000 and $250,000. Now, Brown, no stranger to thrifting, began reselling as a high school junior, and about 3 years later, turned it into a full-time career with more than 10,000 sales. Boy, that would be a pain in the ass job. Going through thrift stores, trying to find something.
But look at that. So a jersey was worth $4-something million, but that's only $150,000. I'd rather have that than a jersey.
I don't know how big this Quinn Brown kid is, but Wilt Chamberlain was a massive dude, and you would think that would be a little bit bigger.
Yeah, I'm picturing him about your height. Then, if that is legit Wilt Chamberlain, he looks like he's gonna be about 6'3", 6'4".
He's got the hair.
Yeah, he's got the hair to play in the Lakers.
Got Adam Morrison's hair.
Who also played for the Lakers. That's all I got.
That is Trash Today, brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Don't forget, you can go by our friends at Walk-On, Stadium Trace, Trustful, and the one at Tattersall here on 280, and help out the Folds of Honor Alabama. Folds of Honor Alabama, and enjoy $2 bottle, $3 draft Budweiser and Bud Lights with our friends at Walk-Ons, and make an extra donation if you want to. Right there at every table, the QR code, Folds of Honor Alabama, Folds of Honor Alabama, Folds of Honor Alabama. All the donations stay here locally. And you actually, I think, can use that QR code on the screen right now and donate from wherever you're watching us right now. We appreciate that so much. And that's our show today. We're back with you tomorrow. When are you guys doing a Next Reels again?
So what we are planning on for the 4th of July is we're going to do a special Jaws commentary, almost like a director's cut. So me and Tyler are going to watch the movie for 2 hours, and we're just going to comment on everything we know about the movie.
Okay. So this would work out to where you should make this suggestion. Start the movie right when you guys start the movie to where you can be rolling the next reels and watching the movie at the same places you guys are watching the movie.
Yeah, so based on whatever platform we're using, we got to find out if we're doing it live or we're going to pre-record. But either way, we'll let you know when we're going to release it. I mean, you'll be able to sync it up, on demand. But if you want to watch it live with us, hopefully that's the route we'll go.
I would say, Tyler, big countdown, 10, 9, 8, and everybody hits play at the same time. And so that way everybody watching can watch the next reels and watch Jaws at the comfort of their home with the next reels playing on one computer device, and they can enjoy the movie and your commentary as they watch the movie too. It'd be great. Because you won't be able to show the movie, will you?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think so.
So the plan is to show the movie.
Oh, you'll be able to actually see the movie as you're doing
I
it?
need an earbud.
Yeah, so you'll be able to see the movie as you guys are.
It won't be on YouTube because of legal reasons, but I'm working on a solution for us all to be able to watch the movie so it's a true director's commentary, and then maybe I chop it up and put some bits on YouTube.
Okay.
But
interesting. I didn't know you could do that.
We'd have
I
to
didn't
use
either, but-
Discord if we do end up doing that live. If not, it'll be recorded and put on Discord since I want to start using that app to promote content and build up the TNR community.
All right, there you go. The next reels
So
there.
don't know the day yet. I think Tyler's heading to Atlanta tomorrow. At least that's the plan.
Wow. It's bragging. I got money, and that's good. You're going to a World Cup game? Take me with you.
Bucket list for him.
You're going to a World Cup game?
Yeah, gonna try. Tickets are quite pricey.
Yeah, you going to cheer for Egypt?
No, never.
You going to wear your Messi jersey?
Of course.
Yeah. He wore that after we got the red card last week. The chat killed him on that. All right, that's our show today. Back with you
just the
tomorrow.
chat.
Yeah. Back with you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central Time. They'll update you on the special Jaws edition of the Next Reels. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.